Out of the way. What a waste. And stay down. Yagami-san.
There's the man I've been looking for. So Koga, being the lazy bastard he is, asked me to kick you. Kick your, beat you up. But I'm happy to fight you anyways. Hello? Okay, don't move. That's cool. And we're dead. Hello, Scene. Hello, Huanta. Hello, Platy. Hello, Mind Blast. What's up, guys? Wait, seriously? That's it? God dang it. I can see the Tekken parallel, yeah. Good morning, Tokyo Vampire. True up anytime. Just doing my job. I am not flirting with you. Thank you. No flirting. You know, Django, I'm starting to think you think everyone should be killed. Which is pretty impressive since I'm supposed to be the Lich King. Although I guess you are German, so, you know.
And stay down.
Highs and lows. Remember, the big stab is for people who really deserve stabbing. The little stab is like, that's a friendly thing. I'm not sure what I think about this health mechanic, by the way. Like, it's not like it's hard to refill health, but it feels... Well, it feels kind of like the key opening mechanic, aka completely unnecessary. You know what I mean? I don't know. It's strange. I mean, I guess for the wounds, I could see it. The deadly wounds, sure, that makes a degree of sense. But the health not regenning out of combat at all just feels weird.
You asked for it.
By which I mean goodbye forever.
Yagami!
Whoops, wrong button. Really? And dead. I actually cannot. No, Sient. You've missed it, of course. Because you're a terrible person. But no, I literally cannot raise my health. It's not with me. Respect for swindling man of money. I respect when you pay back what you owe. You think the Kahan's game's gonna back up? Blah, 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 blah. Let's get involved. Now, I could go to the doctor, but screw that mess.
Out of the way.
That's just terribleness. Go to the doctor, please. Really? Hi, Ventures. Hello, Dante. Damnation. That does sound like a YouTube channel. You alright? Yep. I take it you're familiar with them? Well, you could say that. They seem to have a grudge against me. Didn't sound very collected. See, I knew you could pay up. I'll be taking my money back now. Hope you choke on it. Now that's settled. Looks like we haven't introduced each other. I'm Yagami. I'm Fla, and I run Turtle Financing. In other words, I'm a debt collector. And you were trying to collect from the Kahan gang? Yeah, I should have known they never planned on paying me back. This isn't the first time they attacked me, either. Low-life bastards. Think they can do whatever the hell they want. Unforgivable. When it comes to being a nuisance, they're right up there with the Yakuza. I should let you know, though, those goons weren't the only ones I lent money to. I actually ended up financing a couple of leaders, too. So, such as Kasai and Honda, they owe me 800,000 yen each. So you're good at tracking. If you could go defeat them, that'd be awesome. And I'll get your money back, and that'd be cool. Here you go. Alright. We're good. I'd ask what that icon is, but I know what that icon is. So we now need to avoid this area like the plague. Great. Thanks, game. Yep, that is a plague icon. It is a very insidious plague. I feel it has infested almost 100% of humankind. That's how insidious it is. Most people aren't even aware that they're infested.
Bring it on.
Excuse me. What's worse, some people will actively go out of their way to try and spread the infestation on purpose. Can you believe that? Really? Game? Really? Fine. Come on. Let's go. Not that far, Dante. Although I don't know how long this game is. Speaking of which, Seed, how long is this game? Because that'd be helpful to know for scheduling. Come on. Next.
What a waste.
So anyways, time to go into the sewers to see my doctor. Because, I mean, do you know what sewers smell like? Because I do. I've never actually been in one, but I have been near one, and that was pretty much enough for me.
Yagami-san.
Heal me. 20,000 yen? Whatever. Jackass. I'm not doing your friend. Okay, I'll do your friend event. What?
What's up?
Thanks.
Excuse me.
Used to be part of medical university. What was it like? That was a long time ago. I can't believe I got swept up in all that crap. All I ever thought about was how to get tenured, even at the cost of the people around me. Couldn't trust anyone. After I left the hospital and ended up on the streets, these folks were the only ones who showed me an account of dignity. They've been taking care of me ever since. No idea. Help! We need a doctor! It's Kondo-san. He got into an accident. Speaking of franchises I wish would come back, Trauma Center. Alright, I've done everything I can. We don't have enough blood for a proper transfusion. Yagami-san, I have a favor to ask. We need people who can donate O-type blood, several of them. I'm going to Championship. Can you take Public Park 3? You got it. I got this. I know where that is, and I will go there. Where the hell is Public Park 3? Oh, PC easily ventures. You can get 0 on PC and Kiwami 1 and I believe 2. Hello, Mazanaka. You don't know what a doodad is? Ah, for shame. Okay, I'll explain. I want you to... I don't think I own Zero. I could check. I want you to imagine this street. And I want you to imagine I'm not about to be attacked by random thugs, too. Wow. Wait a second. Hang on. Sorry, buddy. She's just like, dude, mind. Oh, hey, they're driving on the wrong side of the road, too. Or the wrong side of the car. Okay, so anyways, I want you to imagine this street, Mazanaka, okay? Now, when this street was initially designed, there's probably textures for the ground. Oh my god, really? Okay, hang on. There's probably textures for the ground and the buildings, and that's it. So, you know, the signs, the posts that are sticking out, the lamppost, the bicycles, the cars, the electric box, the lamps, everything that isn't base geometry is a doodad, in short. It's the stuff that you do. The term was coined by Blizzard, and I've been using it ever since. It's an old term, it goes back to the 90s. It's the concept of everything you do that isn't technically necessary for the visual design of a place that elevates the visual design of a place. You know, basically all that crap on top of the base geometry. You know, bushes, grass, sometimes animals can count, that kind of a thing. Good doodad placement is something I always praise, especially since it's harder to do than it sounds. This little thing right here, these little posts coming out of the sidewalk here, the vending machines, a lot of the light placements. Yeah, exactly, Alex. All this stuff, all this doodad stuff has to be manually placed. You'll have to ask Blizzard, Mazanaka. I didn't come up with the term, like I said. Besides, decoration doesn't actually quite describe what I'm talking about. All these vehicles, you know, that truck being right there. This little restaurant menu thing. Why are they still chasing me? Oh my god. Seemed, where am I going? It's not on my map, and I asked you earlier and you ignored me completely. Where am I going? I have to go to some park somewhere to ask for frickin' things of stuff. There's a flag. Okay. Where? Because I don't see one. Not that... No, I haven't seen any, Adam. Yeah, doodads almost always have some kind of interactability, too. Not always, but sometimes. This is the main quest, not the side quest. I don't care about this. Woo! In fact, funnily enough, when I checked the side quest thing, it didn't even show up in the case file. So I'm not even sure what to look for. Like that, you probably saw me go in here earlier, and I was looking for where the hell it wanted me to go. Hey, Samurai. That is a lot of evidence for that Ace Attorney quest. Jeez Louise. Yeah, it's not there. I'm looking for O-type blood for a donor for the doc. It's for a friendship quest. Yeah, I've heard about that, Alex. I don't know what to make of it, though. Then again, people place a lot of emphasis on weird things in general. So what the hell do I know? See you around, Mazanaka. Well, since I'm about to be caught by these guys, I might as well kill them.
Nice choice.
Really? That's still probably my favorite EX right there. Oh no, he's about to be run over! Okay, he's okay. Well, shoot. Let's go ask the homeless guys over there, see what they have to say. Hey, homeless guys, what's up? Oh, you're not homeless guys? Oh, okay. Look like it.
And stay down.
Well, the plus side, these aren't giving me much experience, so this won't even help me to level. Hello, Andrew. No. I'm pretty sure Kiryu should be feared anyways, but he'd be pretty feared. I can't even talk to them. I give up. I couldn't find anybody. There it is. I would not have seen that Tokyo Vampire. I'll freely admit that. I barely saw it even knowing what to look for. Oh, for God's sakes, die! I literally don't have time for this. No, I knew that it was a park. I didn't catch the park name, which is why I was asking.
Really, guys?
So I saw that this was a friendship sign on a park, and I'm assuming this is it. I'm actually going to laugh if it isn't it. Yeah, I need to spend some money. What's a wet burger? You know what? I don't care.
Back to it.
Just doing side quests, Adam. Pardon the interruption. May I have a moment of your time? Sure. My name's Yasuhiro... Oh my god. Yasuhiro Furu... Oh my god. Yasuhiro Furuya, and I'm the event planner for Wet Kitchen, a local burger shop. I'd like to get more acquainted with our customer base, see how they perceive our restaurant. I believe you, Scene. I appreciate the help. Or the attempt, I guess I should say. I will lend an ear to Dream Whisperer. You see, our corporate office has asked us to come up with a new collaboration campaign for each of our stores. But, to put it plainly, I'm terrible at thinking up new ideas. That's why I decided to take a chance and leave it up to our customers. It is a bold move. If your suggestion does get used, I'll make sure to give you some sort of compensation. So, what would mesh well with the kitchen? A cabaret club. Honestly, I would say a cafe. It already is a fast food joint. And we don't need another Kintako Hut. Which is not a great idea to begin with. So yeah, I'm thinking cafe. Cabaret with burgers. I mean, I know plenty of people who'd be down for that. Not personally. I can think of one person who'd be down for that personally. I'm not entirely sure. Partnering a cafe would need a noticeable impression. Okay, it's not the cafe. He wants us to do the cabaret. Okay, fine. Cabaret. Cabaret? Nope. Okay, he wants to make a Kintako Hut. Sure, whatever. Why not another fast food place? That's a possibility, though that wouldn't be essentially pushing for more of the same thing. Well, don't you think it'd be awesome if two rival restaurants ended up working together? But is such a thing even possible? It's practically unheard of in the industry. He has clearly never heard of Kintako Hut. Okay, on the off chance some of you don't know what I'm talking about, KFC, that is to say Kentucky Fried Chicken, Taco Bell, and Pizza Hut are actually all owned by the same company. So there are places where you could go where there's a single building that is a Pizza Hut, Taco Bell, and Kentucky Fried Chicken all in one building. Now sometimes you'll see the trio, which is the Kintako Hut. Sometimes you'll see Kentucky Fried Hut. Sometimes you'll see Pizza Bell. You know, you get the idea. There's variations. Sometimes it's 2, sometimes it's 3. But it's pretty common. I know, right, Seed? Like, I get why they did it. It was to save money. Basically, all of this hookups and gas lines and paperwork that you need in order to run a restaurant is simplified if you just put all of the restaurants into one building. But in my experience, it leads to substandard food. Not that anyone cares about that. I mean, granted, I'm not one to talk because I basically can't eat Pizza Hut anymore. But I can eat Taco Bell, and I don't get Taco Bell from a Kintako Hut. Well, I was trying to beat the bosses to get rid of the threat meter scene, and then I failed. Ah! Whoa, God, what? Ah! This is Shadow Machine walking up saying, "I've got good news, lore!" Like, I was kind of casually reading the chat there, seeing Blue Wolf was here. Good morning, Blue Wolf. Good morning, Bragwin. Good morning next time. Good morning, Cloudy, if I didn't say good morning to you already. And then all of a sudden, these guys were just like, "We're gonna jump you while you're reading chat. Death to you." Oh no, it's just too greasy, Dream Whisperer. I can eat pizza just fine. But Pizza Hut? Way too greasy. Like, it literally will make me feel sick. Oh yeah, Flux. I should be using that. No, I'm not a fan of Vitamin G. I never have been. But nowadays, I basically can't eat it. Like I said, it will literally make me sick.
And stay down.
So anywho. Anyone here a blood type O? What's this all of a sudden? This guy named Kondo-san got an accident, needs a blood transfusion. What you say? Kon-chan's hurt? Are you serious? And without blood type, I'm type O. Great, come with me. I will rip your blood straight out of your body. You suck, Venters. Alright, that should do it. That was a close one. I only had to beat up like 30 guys to get to that guy. Thank you so much. I'm so happy right now. Thanks again, Yagami-san. Sorry to put you out like that. You got the friendship. Maxed. Well, I need to thank you somehow. If you find yourself injured, I'll stop by when medicine won't do the trick.
Oh.
Yay, do I at least get a discount? That'd be nice. Aw, I'm only at like friendship level 2. Or am I?
Yagami-san.
I need a med kit. I don't need a med kit. Those are way too expensive. Holy crap. Flattery will get you nowhere, Venters. I'm just kidding. You're awesome. Okay. Now let's go heal, now that we've done that. Was there another one? I don't think so. Yeah. I do kind of wish there was some kind of fast travel, or at least like a Hearthstone mechanic. Like Kingsfold. If I could just have Kingsfold in this game, that would automatically be like a gameplay plus right there. No questions asked. Okay, I completely misread that for a second. I thought that said Delightful Days, Kamuro Chemicals. And I was just thinking, have you taken your joy today? Thank you very much, Kingsfold. Much appreciate and obliged as always. Thank you. Oh, crap. I'm not ready for this fight. Really not ready for this fight.
Really, guys?
It's an interesting question. Do they have Uber or equivalent over in Japan? I mean, I know they have taxis. You know, the waypoint system. No.
Must we? What a waste.
Get out of my way. I'm trying to go heal, so I don't die to a random encounter on my way to the actual plot. Oh, that's right. Public transit is the thing in Japan, isn't it? I was saying, Uber is a United States company. I know that. Because I've been following them financially for a while, because, well, their finances are all over the place. Yeah, it's the U.S. all over again, isn't it, Adam? Heyo! Elevator music seems appropriate for this, since I'm just standing here waiting. Don't I have like an iPod I could do for this? That'd be kind of a cool thing. Pop out your iPod, just stand there listening for a bit, heal as you're listening, you know. Instead of having to go back to the base. Oh, there we go. Okay, on with the plot. Yes, thank you, Max Time. I mean, I noticed the white aura, but I didn't understand its significance at all, so thank you. No. Oh, okay. Sorry. Misunderstood. Really? Game? Really? To do is go in. That's at the bar. Okay, fine. You get to die, then. Can I get a Lore Frost in chat?
And stay down.
Thank you. Whatever you do, don't type any lore furts, though. That would be terrible. So, a nurse, right? You think a nurse could go out drinking by herself every night? They're busy. I'm tired. Yeah, why do you think they go out drinking by themselves every night? Maybe you're in the press, then. I doubt journalists are so bored they go out drinking every night, either. What am I looking at?
Hey.
A new challenger approaches, and this one's a detective.
Huh?
Come for some sport talk? Well, thinks I'll be good at this. Adder's desperate. You want in? It's a 10,000 yen ante. Whoever guesses Mari's occupation takes the pot. That would make it 40k win. Don't be a buzzkill. I think you might actually have a shot. What does she do for a living? So the winner gets 90,000 yen. Oh my god. Funnily enough, Housewife was my first guess, too. Like, just based on what I've seen with her already. I'll go ahead and take the answer, because I could use the money. Don't tell me just yet. Don't tell me just yet. Alright. Hello? Hello? There we go. Safe to assume wherever she works isn't super conservative. Ah, fair enough, next time. Oh yeah, where's the cat?
Uh-huh.
I don't hear a cat. Is there no cat? Is there a silent cat? There is no such thing. Actually, that's not true. So, there was a tabletop place I used to go to. You know, like a D&D board game place with miniatures and the like. Considering I wear Crocs, Ventures, I'm curious what that says about me. Anywho, and there was a cat there that we swear was just the single most jaded cat in the history of the universe. Probably because of the sheer number of people who came in and petted it. But it would not budge for anything. It would just lay there and be like... And you walk up, hey cat, scritch, scritch, scritch. He wouldn't move. He'd start burring. But he wouldn't move. He'd just be like, yep. Poke him a bit and he'd just be like, wouldn't even look at you. Well, I'm going to go and say no housewife. Either that or she's really, really infidelitous. Infidelitous?
Suspicious.
Material isn't cheap and the design is classy. Probably a luxury brand. No way she goes through the hassle of dressing up to come drinking, but no way she has to wear that to work either. Is she a freelancer of some sort? Necklace has some expensive stones. Certainly didn't come from the discount aisle. If she bought it herself, she's doing just fine on her own, but it could have also been a gift from a guy. Then again, if she's here every night, chances are low she's serious with anyone. If only I could tell if she was married. No ring, not even a callus. Yep, I caught that already. Thanks, game. Thanks, Adventure Logic. Nails are nicely manicured. Probably means having long nails and nail polish don't interfere with a job. Alright, and the final deduction. It was him! No, Is that it? Is that it? Yeah, okay, sure, whatever. No ring, no husband, you're dressed to the nines, down to the accessories, clearly you have money. And the fact that you're here every night means you aren't working very demanding hours. I know who I need to call if I ever need a detective. It wouldn't be fair if I told you, would it? I looked at her shoes. I can confirm she isn't short of money. Couldn't help but notice earlier you paid your tab with a black card, right? Now that I think about it. Really? Can't you only get one of those if you're filthy rich? I mean, some people say that about American Express. Hey, how rich we talking here? She has money and the luxury of time. Mari's occupation must be a CEO's lover. I mean, it's not a doctor. It could be an author, but authors don't make money. An author doesn't have money, and a doctor doesn't have time. No, I'm serious. These are both just clearly wrong. This is just kind of insulting. How do I pick none? I don't have a don't pick option. Like, some games will put a hidden option down here or something. Ah! Whatever. Accountant, principal, stock market, real estate management. You really want me to tail her?
Yeah.
Okay. I should have gone with the CEO's lover. That was my actual guess. Still my actual guess. Even though I know it's wrong. And now, time for time. Authors can be successful. I could probably name 3 authors off the top of my head who became very financially successful. I'm sure there's more than 3. But generally speaking, most authors don't become financially successful. That's actually a very common rule. If you ever go to a symposium or, talk to authors or, get financial information. Basically, if you ever look into becoming a professional author, which I totally never did, what are you talking about? The general accepted answer is get a job and then start writing on the side. Do not expect to live off of your books. That's pretty much the common acceptance there. At least here in the States. I don't know if that works differently in any other country. I am not. She's right there. Yeet. I'm actually struggling to think of the name of the third author now. Like, I can't think of her name. Anyways, J.K. Rowling is obviously one of them. And Stephen King is another one. Although it's worth noting, Stephen King, a lot of people don't really think of this. Stephen King made a lot of money off his books, not just because they were popular, but because he made an insane amount of them. Look up his bibliography? Look up his list of how many books he's made someday. That man wrote up a storm. What was the book? You ever heard of the Dragon Riders of Pern? Oh, that's true. I guess Twilight Twit also made money, didn't she? McCaffrey. Anne McCaffrey. That's her.
Huh?
Older author, but she did hit it pretty big financially. She also wrote a ton of books, by the way. So she also did, the financially successful method of writing tons and tons and tons of books. What's a soapland? There was actually a thing earlier that referenced soapland, and I didn't get the reference. Got it. Why do they call it soapland?
Ah.
You knew I was following you? Yeah, I figured you would, and the odds were in my favor. Damn, she's on to me. Who are you, Mari? I may have a chance if she's going to work now. I just have to make sure she doesn't catch me. Oh yeah, King was definitely quantity over quality. Just massively. Holy craply. And again, no offense to the man. The man certainly knows how to write. And when he tries, he does good stuff. Wait, we have to tail her again? Jesus Christ, game. Have I already given the second negative for tailing missions? Hello, Sonic Doctor. Welcome to Tailing Missions, the game. That would be Rowling, right, Zillow? I sometimes wonder what kind of guy King is like in real life. Like, I know that sounds like a strange statement, but
Isn't that...
he's been pretty supportive of the arts in general for most of his professional career. Also, hasn't he, like, publicly admitted he did drugs for several of his works? I say drugs. I think it was actually marijuana, but whatever. Of course, Adam. Isn't that how you change your clothes? Aren't you Superman? I have never even heard of that person's look. I believe you. I believe you. Ah, fair enough, Max Time. You are right. Yakuza, where everyone's Superman except during the serious scenes. I mean, one of the richest and most influential people in the world is Italian, Zillow. Don't ask how I know that. Don't know what you're talking about, Zillow. I don't have a place to hide. Just need to get over here within the next few seconds. There we go.
A lady can never be too careful.
Okay. The volcanic volcano. You say that scene. Earlier, it increased the speed of the bar going up substantially when I did that. That's specifically why I went out of my way to not run there. Also, the Assassin's Creed method. If you're doing in, what is a high profile or whatever, aka running, they notice you quicker. See you around, Alex. I do love tailing missions.
Isn't that...
And then I'm going to start tailing Alex at work, and he's going to be like, turning around, isn't that Laura? And I look like this, like I'm in my uniform and everything. But I keep hiding behind things, so he's not sure if he saw me or it was just the wind. Yes, I'm Agent 47. My sneak skill? 0. My charisma? 100. Pardon me, yes. I'm the person you've been interacting with for the last 5 years, unerringly. You can tell because of the cadence and tone of my voice. Long-term, Sonic? Neither. Do not worry, ma'am. I am nobody. I am
Lady
not
can never
here.
be too careful.
I am definitely not following you. This is not kind of messed up if you think about it. And now to stare. Short term? Probably a dip followed by a rise, I would say. It's either that or a rise followed by a dip. And I know that sounds like terrible advice, but welcome to the stock market. Stock market.
Isn't that...
You think I'm joking, by the way? I'm really not. Now, long-term change can happen in stock price. That's why I thought for quite a while about whether or not there was going to be a long-term change in the stock. But short-term? Stock prices go all over the place for the stupidest of reasons. There's a reason tailing is probably going to get too negative, Sonic Doctor. Let me just put it to you that way. This is not particularly engaging gameplay any more than it is in Assassin's Creed. I keep making that parallel for a reason. This is basically the exact same gameplay. Even down to the fact that the specific spots you're supposed to hide in are static. In other words, in Assassin's Creed, and this game for that matter, like if I wanted to circle around her or tail her from the front, for example, that's not an option. You know, it's not allowed by the way the game works. If I want to take another route, I better be rushing to get there in time, because the game didn't put hiding spots along that way. You know? I meant to ask you, Scene, I only have 3 gameplay positives, and I was curious if you could think of any others. I knew it. She's secretly... pretty much at him. The only good news is the tailing is easy. But at the same point, yeah, casino. I kind of figured this, by the way. Easy doesn't make something good, it just makes something less arduous. In short, this is padding rather than a factory problem. No, goodness no, Sonic. I am horrible at deductive reasoning. You kidding me? Let me show up in the casino like a bum. Speaking of padding...
That'll do it.
Doc.
Is that you, Doc? Try as you might, you can't hide it. Besides, I had a hunch you might follow me.
Huh?
But how? I guess I knew you'd be the type to call my bluff.
Hey.
Don't you get it? Welcome to what I do for a living. You're a professional gambler. Which is also a thing that does actually exist. Do not try to do that as a career. It is very, very difficult, very, very stressful, and only the top, % of players can even manage it. This is also not me making this up. Gambler only works when she's feeling lucky. That's my little secret. Makes sense why the idea of a betting pool excited you, too. I only did it for fun at first, you know, but then I kept winning. Guess I have a talent for it. When I made enough money, I left office work behind. And now you have a black card. Pretty impressive. But the others are chomping at the bit to find out. Tell you what, if I pay you, will you keep it a secret? Can't exactly have rumors spreading I make fortunes in illegal casinos, can I?
Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't want that getting out either. I'll tell him I lost you in the crowd. But I must say, you're a good detective. Your logic was on point. What do you say? Want to see how you fare in my line of work? You might do better than you think. No, I'd do worse than you think. Smart man. I completely agree with you on the input delays thing, Scene. It's something I've been struggling with this whole time. If you might hear me basically mashing when I'm hitting something, that's because I don't have a feel for when I can input a button. So I'm not mashing in the strictest sense. I'm basically confirmation clicking. Which means, for example, let's say I do a heavy hit, and I want my next hit to be a light hit. So I just hit this light hit button over and over and over and over until it finally goes through. The moment it starts the animation, yeah, buffering, that's exactly what I'm doing. The moment it starts the animation, I switch to the next button. So that's what I'm not actually mashing. I have no idea what the timing is on attacks, and so I'm just buffering every swing. You know, this is going to sound like a very strange statement, but I don't understand the appeal of casinos and gambling. I mean, don't mistake me, the idea of winning money makes sense, because that's mostly on the side of stupidity and a lack of understanding. That's perfectly logical. But I know people, personally, who enjoy gambling, and gambling has been a ludicrously successful business for millennia at this point in history. Like, it's among one of the oldest types of professions in human culture, is to gamble. I say professions, you know what I mean, industries. It is so common as to be mundane. It's like saying people like breathing. Of course they like breathing, right? I have never understood it. I mean, again, I'm not trying to throw any shade here. I don't get it. I never have. I haven't decided if the leveling system gets a plus for me. I was thinking about that one, Scene. And obviously I can't speak to the end game combat yet. Jesus, Max Time. I'm sorry. I mean, I have plenty of people in my family who enjoy gambling. Most of them are pretty strict about how they gamble. You know, you walk in with 20 and not your credit card. You know, that kind of mentality, right? But they still enjoy it. They still don't get it. Oh, I'm jealous, Alok. Going to Monaco, I mean. Yeah. I'm reminded of when I did a little bit of personal research on my own time into the chemical side of alcoholic addiction and how just horrifically messed up that really was. Now, I was already like 25 or something at that point. I was already in the, you know, I'm not drinking phase of my life. But I remember looking at that being like, jeez, that is horrible. Oh, hang on, gotta get out my key.
Perfect.
Yeah, I know about pachinko parlors, and I spit on them. Ugh.
Hello?
Yagami-san. This is Sari.
What's up, Saori-san? You don't usually call me.
I haven't been able to reach Shintani-sensei. It keeps going to voicemail. He hasn't picked up since he left the office after talking to you.
Mm-hmm. And?
Didn't you say the Kyori clan was after him?
Yeah, he'll be fine. I just wanted to give him a scare.
Okay, still. Could you try him for me? Sometimes he ignores my calls. Maybe he'll pick up for you.
Are you sure we're talking about the same guy? But I might as well. Can't hurt to try.
Dumb question. Why are we still coming back to our very publicly known office where they know we are? I mean, This is like if the Joker knew where the Batcave was, right? I mean, the Joker's actually not a good example, but positive aspects of alcohol? Actually, yeah. Alcohol, this is not a joke. Alcohol in small amounts, not too high of a proof, can actually help you with your digestion. It makes your stomach, and you know what? I don't know the specifics. I know it helps with your overall GI system. It's one of the reasons why it's been recommended by a lot of people for a lot of reasons over a lot of years. You have like a glass of wine with a meal, like once every other day or something like that. Oh no.
Hi, Shintani here.
Hey, Shintani-sensei, it's Tak. Where are you?
You've reached the voicemail box of the one and only Masamichi Shintani, Genda Law Office's finest attorney.
Shintani.
Leave your legal troubles after the beep.
You know, like Shintani was kind of an ass, but I actually liked him as a character. And yeah. Previously on the game you've been playing. Yeah, no, skip. Thankfully, these are skippable. No, I didn't catch Adventures. I kind of mentally blank achievements out nowadays. What was it?
What do you mean he's dead?
Skeletons
Didn't
in
you
the
just
closet.
say everything would be okay?
Stay calm, Sari-san. I'm just as shocked as you. But I think the mole is responsible.
Have you contacted the police?
No, not yet.
You should do that right away then.
Do you think you could make the call, Sari-san?
What?
I need time to check things out before the cops show up and take over.
Smart.
Please.
It would be smarter if he had gloves on.
Okay.
Thanks.
I guess we're just doing a visual search. Sure, whatever.
Suspicious.
Thank you for putting on the sunglasses, game developers. Really, I mean that. So, shot. In fact, shot 3 times if I'm looking at that correctly. Maybe twice. Hang on. There's a cat. Cats are more important than murder mysteries.
Suspicious.
There's something I missed.
What the?
Murder must have happened elsewhere. Well, if nothing else, that's a good sign in our favor. No blood in the closet and no blood on our thing, so... yeah. I like the music in general. In fact, I've already given 2 positives for it. Please tell me... Thank you! Oh my god, I was about to be pissed if he didn't. So, calls to Genda's office. except the last number he called. Shintani called it just a few hours before his death. There's been a lot of little details I've been enjoying so far, Andrew.
We received a call from the Genda Law office.
Notice he has put his gloves away by now, so he's not showing that he's been
Got
investigating.
here fast, Detective Kuroiwa.
Shintani, huh?
Yeah.
His name has been coming up a lot lately. He's the reason Hamura walked, after all. Perhaps you couldn't stand his newfound fame so you often?
Huh?
I heard you two weren't exactly on good terms.
Do you greet everyone by accusing them of murder? Guess that's just how cops like you operate.
Forensics will be here soon. We will need you present as a resident of the property. After that, we'll need some time to investigate.
How long?
You'll have to find somewhere else to stay tonight at the very least.
I don't have money for that.
Yet you can afford bribing a cop. Ayabei sources aren't even that reliable.
Don't know what you mean.
Oh, I'm sure you do.
And yeah, I noticed next time.
Yeah, sorry. I had to wait around for the cops to get here.
Ah,
Is Sensei still at the office?
Yes, he wants to talk to you about Shintani. As do I. Hoshino, too.
Okay, I'll head over now. See you soon.
yeah, you saw the guy just vanish, right? It wasn't just me. I did like Shintani. I am upset about that. Okay, I'm gonna ask some advice here, Scene, if you got a second. Do you think now would be a good time to do side quests, or, like, should I wait on that? I mean, we did just have a big moment, but we might not have a breather in the narrative. Alright. Now it is. I should start calling out the Fallout 3 problem. I suppose to explain a little bit. In Fallout 3, there's not really a good time to go do all the many side stuff things in the game. In fact, there's only really 2 points in the narrative where it makes any kind of sense in character. I like her outfit.
Hmm?
Fine. What about? A disaster will befall you. A calamity of water! Look, I never put much stock in fortune-telling, lady. There is no fortune. It is a prophecy.
I've seen a vision.
In other words, I have seen your future. You cannot escape fate. I know, right? Next time. Okay, then. Tread carefully. It will happen sooner than you think. Thanks for the warning. I do like her outfit, though. She probably preys on people's insecurities to lure them into whatever she's shilling. That's not a calamity of water. That's just... That's a puddle. I'm not even wet. A calamity of water. That's not... That, if that is actually true, you are the worst prophet in the world. I predict... Yes, I'm getting a vision from the great fates of the future. You will bump your toe on the table in 3 minutes. Bump. Ah! Pretty damned rare, Adam. In fact, one of the only games I can think of that managed that at all was GTA 5. And GTA 5 managed that by being very, very careful in its construction. So, real quick, for those of you not aware, in Grand Theft Auto 5, narratively speaking, you spend all of the main story broke. Except, like, you do one big gig, and that gives you a bunch of money, and then everything after that just goes bad to worse, right? And that's part of the plot. In gameplay, you get no money for doing anything after that point. Side quests, main quests, you don't get paid for jack. Now, you can make a little bit of money by doing, procedural stuff, like selling cars or robbing people, but that's it. Now, you might think, oh my god, that sounds horrible. Actually, GTA 5 is pretty well designed in the sense that for all the things that you need and want, you don't actually need money for them while going through the main plot. Money actually basically forms a optional post-game side quest. That's what money is in GTA 5. So, it's one of the only games I've seen that's actually tried to tie that in to part of the narrative. Anyways.
It's inevitable.
There is no such thing as coincidence. All things that happen are a predetermined certainty.
Oh, I get it. You're in together with the guy on the bike, right?
If you think I'm trying to swindle you for money, you couldn't be more wrong. I only wish to forewarn of impending doom.
Oh, right, sure. Hey, Amane-san.
Have you taken proper precautions for the Black Calamity? How can I, when your prophecies are so damn vague? At least give me details. I'm sorry, all I see are shadows of the future. I lack the ability to decipher their exact contents. You're useless. A black jacket?
Huh?
Wait, what? No! Run away, run away. Run through the ghosts of people. We're despawning as he runs. What's his deal?
That's Meguro-san, a regular of mine. An ill-fated man who's fallen victim to many, many disasters.
Unbelievable.
Though my prophecies have averted the worst of them, I'm rather offended he fails to see this.
So why'd he just run from me?
He bears the sign of block disaster. Your block guard must have scared him.
I mean, I have no idea, Seemed. And as always, I don't actually decide that. So...
Poor twisted soul, he is losing his way, unable to cope with the pressures of fate.
Personally, I think all your negative predictions are probably just making him paranoid.
There may be some truth in what you say. I can't say I'm not concerned.
That's true, Shadow Machine. That is true. Although I stand by my statements.
Good sir, I have a request.
Kind of request.
Will you follow him and shield him from the block disaster?
Did you say your prophecies are absolute? If that's true, what could I even do?
Oh, the calamity will occur, but you can minimize the damage. If you're prepared for a fire, does it not minimize its toll?
Damn it, Brakewood, I was just about to make that joke.
I only need to decipher your aura to know you're a detective.
I should accept the quest.
I am Amane.
It's me.
The block calamity.
Yagami-san.
Be wary of black objects. Okay. Sure. There he is. Really? This is actually only the second time we've done this, by the way.
Suspicious.
Why are you... Come on. Oh, whatever.
Hey. Ah.
my god, Braegwyn, your prediction came true! Share your great wisdom of the fates with me, Braegwyn. Let me to be understanding all of the joys of the future that holds within thy third eye. Just gonna wander over here. Stand here. I thought someone was following me, but now he's behind me. What? What does ZXP mean? Ooze. How could I turn it down? Black claws. Better go elsewhere. Oh my god, this guy. Black car. Just gonna casually wander over here. Don't mind me. Oh, come on! I'm behind the... Fine. So they're compressed zip girls? Did I understand that correctly? What the hell, game? I predict a second negative in your future. I'm also predicting a positive in your future. But should it be under gameplay or story? Real question. It's for side quests, specifically. It's pretty much the usual side quests are meaty and awesome. Yeah, this goes back to what I was talking about with the Assassin's Creed thing, too. They both have that same problem. It's like, he's not following the exact intended path we laid out for him. I don't know what to do about this. Yep, nope, we have already given the second negative for the tailing mission, so we're good. Now, normally, like, say, with Yakuza 0, a second plus for side missions might happen, but I don't think that's going to happen in this one. We'll see. We'll see. But the fact that they're not voice acted, I know that sounds like a minor thing to complain about, but it does kind of hurt it a little bit for me. It's funny you say that, Scenes. Let's see here. Final Fantasy 15. Plus 8 to story. Negative 10 to gameplay. Yeah? I stand by that firmly. In fact, to be completely blunt, that doesn't even get across the full story. As I've said before, the net score isn't actually all that important. What's important is that there were 20 positives to story and 12 negatives to story. That's the important part. There was a lot of good story in FF15, and then there was a lot of bad story in FF15. I mean, Arden's awesome. In fact, I gave 2 total positives to Arden, so don't give me that. One for his voice actor and one for his character. Actually, I think I gave a third one for his DLC. It's probably because of the English Tokyo Vampire, if I were to guess.
In fact, I'm actually curious, is this game fully voice acted in Japanese? Because I just noticed, I've noticed this a lot earlier, I should say. I just thought of this, though. A lot of the side things have, like, little voice clips or whatever. I don't know. Hey, dude. The road you're walking on is black. Yeah. Oh, I'm glad you turned around. Don't worry, I'm not a cop. Speaking of cops, the boys in blue go wild for the... Oh, for God's sakes. Frickin' barkers. I mean, I do appreciate 100% voice acting. Okay, so he wants alcohol. And I have to just find a manual. I don't know where an alcohol store is. Alright, whatever. Where am I? I don't have access to a map. Okay, that's great. We'll go this way then. This is the wrong way to go. Huh.
Where'd you go?
So, time to see how bad the mid-mission checkpoints are for this. Okay, that's not bad. It's pretty normal. We're good. No pluses, no negatives. We're good. Yeah, if that was a bad checkpoint, that would absolutely be an additional negative. But the checkpoints have been pretty decent for other stuff. So it's not that surprising that they had a decent checkpoint here. Wish I could pull up the map. How did he get this far ahead of me in like 8 seconds?
What did I do wrong?
Okay. I mean, he's going to get a drink. I know that. And he's avoiding the black car.
Huh? Nah.
Yeah, where is that scene? Like, I don't know where I am right now. And I don't have a map, which is really irritating. Like, I'd be willing to be like, okay, look, can I just look at the map for a second? Get my bearings. Oh, whatever, I've already wasted too much time. Let's go! Let's see, what do we got here? Maybe over here? This is totally it right here. Ah.
How'd I lose him?
Hold up. So the game is trying to postulate that he went behind me while I was talking to someone facing the direction that is behind me, and I lost him in that exchange. Just want to make sure that's what the game is postulating here. Like, sorry, what? Earth Angel, please be mine. You see, that was actually my first thought, but I obviously didn't know how to get there. So, is this it? No, that's cut off. Is this? Ah, here we go. Okay, see, I thought I was north of this intersection. I didn't know I was south. I didn't know I was south of this intersection. That's where I was getting screwed up. I actually did know where to go. Jesus Christ. I'm actually irritated by that. I was mentally in the wrong spot. Would have been nice if I had a map. That's why I was trying to pull up the map, to go here. Anyways. Back to tail. Mission. Yes, Venters. That's pretty much exactly the place I was thinking of. Although, I also knew there was the other... What? What? Okay. Sure. Can I get a lore frost? Oh, Jesus. In chat here really quick. Please. No, it's the same music each time, basically. Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of with you, Scene. This is pretty dumb. Oh, here we go. Hi, Dakota. Welcome to Tailing Missions! And the quest for a third negative.
Yeah.
Hey, how about a drink? $20. I could use a drink. I feel like I'm losing my mind. Excellent. The bar's over there. Black Alice. Actually, Plutonia did the icon. Full credit to Plutonia for the emote, not me.
Huh?
You're not going anywhere till you pay up.
ちょっと
100,000 yen for a single bottle of beer? That's ridiculous. Wow, that sounds... Yeah, I didn't see a red arrow next time. I believe you, I think, maybe. But I didn't see a red arrow. I just think that the tailing missions in general are bad, and it's the whole repeating problem. The tailing missions are continuing to be bad. That's why I would think a third negative here. I'm sure if this is the last tailing mission, then I'll go ahead and accept two negatives. So, black beer is legit. It's made from water by melting the South Pole. The beer is black too? Seriously? Oh wait, I saw you guys pour it from another can.
Huh?
Just hand over your wallet, or it'll be your body melting at the South Pole. There's apparently a red arrow. I legitimately did not see it. I believe Max Time. He's not the kind to lie to me. I just really didn't see it. Who the hell are you? The Barker said it would cost 2,000 yen. Besides, baiting customers with alcohol is against the law. You a cop? I'm a private audit. I'm a PI. I've been asked to watch this guy. Oh, bodyguard, huh? Then you can guard him by paying. Okay. Oh, apparently if you get seen, there's a red arrow. I didn't know that. I'm guessing I ran by him, and that's when he saw me, and that's when a red arrow popped up. Like, oh my god, he's looking at you. So yeah, if that only shows up when you're being spotted, then they really don't get credit for that. There's your 2,000 yen. I'll hold off on a third negative. Third negatives are pretty severe. Like, it's kind of an exponential thing. Like, 1 negative, substantial. 2 negatives, huge. 3 negatives, gargantuan, right? Like, if you've been watching my reviews for a while, you know it takes a lot for me to get to the third negative point. Or third positive point, for that matter. And going to 4 and beyond is virtually unheard of. So, they're going to have to continue to be pretty bad pretty often for it to hit a third. We'll see. How many chapters are in this game?
ちょっと
Since when did you become my bodyguard?
Fortune teller Amane-san asked me to protect you. She's the one you should be thanking.
A leather jacket. You're the harbinger of my damnation. I'm so tired of this.
And now a running mission.
Nah.
Also, it was the black beer, you moron. Yeah, for your troubles. How do you make a living? I'm unswayed by petty materialism. That's why you can tell I have a very nice outfit on. I use my power in aid of those who need it. Guess you really are an altruist. That guy was pretty paranoid. Think he's gonna be okay? Seems to be a magnet for catastrophe. I shall have to warn him when I see him next. That wasn't really what I was getting at. Maybe you could try to soften the blow a little. Phrasing is everything. I'll take that into consideration. And then a piano falls on him. Now, this is going to sound strange, but I also wish there was more silliness in this. Like, compared to Zero, you know, the only other one I've really played, there needs to be more silly, IMO. I mean, they've been spot on with the serious. You know, the murder mystery crime drama has been awesome. But, like, they don't even have the karaoke. I mean, come on. Yeah, exactly, Seed. Exactly. I need more silly in my Yakuza. I mean, there was that quest where we went after the panty thief, right? And I'm like, okay, that should be pretty silly. And it kind of wasn't. Like, it was a little silly, but not... I apparently have the ability to change the game at will. Who knew? I cannot believe that timing. This game needs more silly on it. And then a wig goes by with a cartoon sound effect. What is with your ankle, dude? What? Why?
Excuse me.
I sprained my ankle. Fine. Gone with the gust. I don't think... You know what, whatever. Chase sequences. These also kind of suck. Like, is he have a weak ankle or something? Jeez.
Wait a sec.
Why are there so many cones in the way?
Wait a sec.
What the hell is this? Watch your language, kid. Dude! That's my hat. Give it back. Oh, yeah? Ha ha. I'm a twerp. Tee hee hee. I make people disappear as I run by them. Chase Part 2, The Chastening. We have to chase a kid who we could probably outpace in about 30 seconds, give or take. Like, I have a bad leg, and I can outrun my little niece. I don't think this should be a challenge for someone who is as athletic and skilled as this guy is. But why? Whatever.
Wait a sec.
What? Bull crap!
Wait a sec.
Wait a sec.
Give it up already.
You're pretty fast, mister. Yeah, I am. Now give it back. Finders keepers, man. You little brat. Give it back.
Unless you want me to hunt you to the ends of the earth.
Holy crap.
Kids will be kids, huh? Let's let this incident just fly away on the breeze. God, you're ugly. Goddess of the sun won't smile down on me if I let life's trivial matters bother me, right? And here comes the personality shift. Yep, I'm checking out. Where's my... I don't have anything alcoholic. You ever consider finding a way to make sure it doesn't blow away, though? Yeah, glue. The Lady of the North Wind is a fickle shot, you know. Who am I to try and predict the whimsy of such a woman? Right. Yagami-san, why don't you take this? Thanks. I do believe the breeze is whispering my name. I feel the muses on the wind. Right. Yes, your sword is quite popular, Plutonia. Ah, perfect. I can raise my health. How's your ankle? My what? Your ankle. You sprained your ankle. I did? I'm going to kill you. You are? Yeah, watch this. See this? This is you. Damn it. He was already down.
And stay down.
Okay, so, moving on. So, back to the horrible murder of our friend.
I know you've had a rough night, Yagami. But if you're up to it, can you tell us what happened to Shintani?
I found a wig.
Saori-san was having trouble getting in touch with Shintani. So I decided to give him a call myself, see what the deal was. But when I dialed him up, I heard the phone ringing in my closet. Shintani was killed the same way as all the others.
The others? Do you mean his eyes were...
Gouged out, yeah. But Shintani's beef was with the Kyorei clan. Why would the mole target him?
I'm not so sure. It sounded like he knew something when you talked earlier.
Right.
Think this is some kind of Yakuza pissing contest, do ya? Come on. The mole is way bigger than you know.
He probably knew more about the mole than I did. And his source had to have been Hamura. Maybe they killed him to keep their secret safe.
But why did he have to put Shintani-sensei's body in your office?
Not sure. Maybe to harass me? Maybe to scare me off their trail? Maybe both.
Yagami. You might want to lay low for a bit. It's not safe for you here. Get out of town. Go somewhere quiet. If the mole comes after you next...
Right. I'll do just that, Genda-sensei.
You know, I watched over Shintani since his first day as a lawyer. Kid had a good head on his shoulders, and a knack for the job I could never compete with. But he didn't have the guts to succeed when push came to shove. Not the most persistent lawyer I've seen. Even so, He looked up to me. Guess I took it for granted. Thought he'd always be part of the team.
When I first joined, Shintani-sensei was the one who showed me the ropes. He was a reliable man.
Thanks for this, Yagami. Come on, Sari-kun. I'll walk you to the station.
Sure.
Feel free to stay here tonight, Yagami.
I appreciate it.
What about you, Hoshino-kun?
I think I'll work a little more before I head home.
If you say so. Good night.
Good night, boss.
Well, now what? Now we stare at each other awkwardly. Yeah, I noticed they like to use that, I learned something today music a lot. And it kind of works for the side quests with, silly. But I don't think it works as well for main plot stuff. I don't know. Oh yeah, Dante asks what I feel about the main guy's voice. It's not bad. It's not great. In fact, he's not in the list of the really good voice acting I've seen so far. Fred Tatasciore obviously does an excellent job. Matthew Mercer is nailing it so far. I'm sure we're going to hear more of him soon. Blum actually got a chance to stretch his chops, so that's nice. We should, I agree, Scene. I'm not sure when a good time is.
Make yourself at home, Yagami-san. I'll leave you the key. You've been here way longer anyway. You deserve it more than me.
Thanks.
Yagami-san, do you have a minute?
Yes. I've always got a minute for you. Jazz music.
Sure, what's up?
Well, it's about Shintani-sensei.
You mean the guy who just got brutally murdered? Yeah, I kind of figured. Blackwell.
Yagami-san, I know you just told Genda-sensei you're gonna lay low, but that's not true, is it? You want to keep hunting down this killer.
And if I said yes?
Don't worry, I won't tell Genda-sensei. But in return... I want to help you. Look for the mole, that is. I won't slow you down. I promise.
Looking to avenge Shintani, huh?
He wasn't as strong as he let on. The tough guy act was a mask he wore to hide his insecurities.
No.
Deep down, he was just weak. That's why he was going along with Hamura, not because he wanted to. I mean, who can say no to a Yakuza?
Quick aside. One of the weird things about modern fiction, and when I say modern, I mean like post-World War II fiction, so the last 50, 60, 70 years, is that it seems to emphasize the idea that someone who is weak or fearful is a bad person. And I've never agreed with that. There's nothing necessarily wrong with being weak, right? I know that sounds like a strange statement, and it is, of course, just my opinion. But I think it's interesting that so much of fiction puts those as completely negative traits. The kind of things you'd say, well, this is a slime bag, or a scumball, or a worthless piece of crap. And not acknowledging the fact that some people are simply weaker than others, especially since weakness is a per category thing, right? I'm pretty weak at, I don't know, just off the top of my head, playing football. Does that make me a bad person? But in fiction, I would be the, I'm bringing the team down, we got to get rid of you, man, there's something wrong with you, kind of a situation, Anyways, I'm sorry, I just wanted to comment on that. Moving on.
And now look how it turned out. I was sitting right next to him this whole time. Yet there was nothing I could do to help. I'm still young. I don't even know what kind of lawyer I want to be. Criminal? Civil? Not the slightest idea.
Let me recommend civil.
But I know one thing. I don't want to be the kind of lawyer who sits on his hands after his friend gets murdered. Which means...
Are you sure about this, Hoshino? Genda-sensei told me to lay low. If you're seen helping me...
Don't worry about that. I'll defend myself in court if I need to. Now, Yagami-san, do you mind if I tag along?
You'll just tell Genda-sensei if I refuse, huh?
Yeah, you got that right.
Not much choice then. Welcome aboard.
Glad to be working with you.
Well, let's get down to business. First off, I want to know what Shintani was doing before he died. And I have some evidence that may tell us just that.
It's the bullet wounds. No, it's the eyes. No, it's the bullet wounds or the eyes. And yeah, basically, Chai Guy. Like in this context, they're portraying Weak as someone who bends, someone who doesn't stand up for themselves, someone who goes along with what other people say, someone who avoids conflict, as you so accurately put it. Oh, right, it's the phone. Reveal.
Shintani dialed this number earlier today. I want to know where it goes.
Right, that makes sense.
Man, my eyes implode all the time.
Thing the killer forgot to take Shintani's phone, huh? This way we can see who he was calling.
The killer didn't forget. Even if the phone was gone, we'd still be able to get Shintani's data from his provider.
Actually, you need a subpoena to do that, but still.
Really? I had no idea.
Yep. I bet he left the phone so I'd find the body quicker.
Huh?
I agree with that.
I mean, he went through the trouble of hiding it in my office of all places. Probably wanted to cause as much chaos as possible, you know?
Hey! The number got a hit in the search. It's apparently for the, Advanced Drug Development Center?
What?
What the hell?
What, do you know it?
3 years ago, there was a pretty famous murder there. A patient was killed, and their body dumped in the mountains. And the man they arrested for it was named Shinpei Okubo.
Okubo. Wait, he was your client?
Yeah.
He worked as a contract laundryman for the center. Every 2 or 3 days, he'd stop by to pick up their dirty linens. According to the police report, it was thought he carried the body out in a bundle of sheets.
Right. And you defended him in court and won. But then he got free and...
You can stop there.
But why would Shintani-sensei have called the ADDC? Who would he even talk to?
I bet we'll find out if we give them a ring. But it's getting late. You should go home. We both need some shut-eye, yeah?
Yeah, we can start fresh tomorrow. Where do we want to meet?
Oh, right. We want to keep this a secret from Genda-sensei after all. There's an arcade called Charles up on Park Boulevard. That should work for now.
Okay. I'll let Kaito-san know.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah. I'll see you.
I give up, Balvadrix. What'd I do? Like, I don't remember doing anything horrible recently. Alright, time to do side quests. No, I'm kidding. We already did side quests. I know, right, Norgafell? They're laying it on a little thick with the old case. It's been referenced so many times, over and over and over again. Like, it's getting a little bit much.
Excuse me.
Are you alright? Need mugwort. Mugwort? Should be some growing just behind that fence. Sorry, could you grab it for me? I'll pay you 15 rubles. Okay. Sure.
Yeah, the problem is the game is emphasizing, like, okay. We're going to find out later on that something with his, our murder mystery that we saw, the one we got the guy acquitted, the Okubo mystery. We're going to find out that that's connected to the mole and the eye stabbing murders. Now, we could probably guess that in general, but at this point, that is 100% certainty, because they keep bringing it up. We get it. Here, I went 3 feet for you. Can you place it in the gourd? Just stuff it, close the lid, and shake it. Okay. Oh, I'm feeling much better. What was that you drank just now? I call this an extract. Technically speaking, this is a medical decoction, but extract rolls much easier off the tongue, doesn't it? Oh, forgive me for not introducing myself. I am Ayama. I make and market my own extracts here in Kamurocho. That's why people call me the Hermit of the Dragon's Palace. Okay.
This is Yagami.
People call me Yagami. What's this Dragon Palace thing about? You know that abandoned building in the hotel district? That's the Dragon Palace. My pharmacy's on the 4th floor. Pharmacy, so mugwort is one of your ingredients. Yes, I came to gather ingredients for an extract I'm making, but I got winded and ended up taking a nasty fall. I'm glad you're around, otherwise I might not have made it. That extra 3 feet. I met a man who's a hermit that makes drugs in an abandoned building. Well, if it isn't Yagami ready to die... Hey, get your ass over here. Really? Where did I find this freak of nature? Okay, what? Just all of a sudden. And then there's a fight for absolutely no reason whatsoever. It's been too long since our mandatory fight, so we need another one real quick here. I also feel like this is a tutorial for the elite mobs, which I've been fighting for some time now. Do you mind? I'm busy fighting a guy who's actually worth my time. It's like he's invincible. Ah ha ha ha. Ah ha 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 ha. It looks like you don't even have a fraction of his strength.
Yagami-san.
Seems you've gotten yourself into quite a pickle, Yagami-san. Yama-san, you shouldn't be here right now. Now, hold your horses. I want to at least pay you back for your help at least, so I brought you a little something. It's the Thunder Strike. What? It's my miraculous homebrewed extract, of course. Once you drink it, yeah, you'll find out. Now go ahead and drink it. Okay. Drinking an extract will temporarily imbue you with one power or another. For starters, try using it. Okay. Hey, hang on, guys. Pull up my phone. Let's see here. Go ahead and use the extract. There we go. You cannot stop me. I am truly invincible. I am taking drugs. There is nothing that can defeat my drug-taking powers. I'm Captain America. God dang it. Nightbot's like, drink the extract, damn you! Why haven't you drunk it yet? Come over here, please. Thank you. Keep coming. Come on, here, come here. Come here. Aw. Oh, come on. Yeah, let's boost up. Still nothing? Come on, there's a place, there's a swing right here. Ah, whatever. Maybe over here? I need to unlock it? Oh, come on. Fine, whatever. Sigh. No, he took drugs. Run! Winners don't do drugs. So this is the power of drugs. How was that? Pretty darn effective, wouldn't you say? First hit's free, but the later ones are going to be expensive. So here's a key. There's a nice casino and gambling hall. Really? That's okay. Oh, even these extracts can't fix old age, it seems.
Excuse me.
You okay? I can give you a lift. Oh, I don't want you to go out of your way like that. It's fine. I was going that way anyways. Okay. Apparently, Mr. Red. I mean, it kind of feels like it a little bit, Dry Heap, but not as bad as the previous one I was playing. What's this? This is my drug lab. That is like the grossest looking stew. And apparently it smells terrible too. This is the liquid base of our extract. You mean the weird stew? Correct. The stew contains a special broth and when mixed with the right ingredient turns into the extract. These extracts are specifically concocted to draw out the essence of each ingredient and transfer that power into the body. Ignore the giant skull to my left ear that's prominently displayed on the screen. You mean like when I drank it during that fight? Indeed. Now listen close. Extracts can have effect. Okay. Hey, look. Crafting.
Excuse me.
We've just unlocked a scavenger minigame. To find items to make more drugs. Look, I'm sorry. Maybe I've just been playing video games for too long. I'm not really impressed with crafting as an idea anymore. I haven't been for a long time. And a little bit too many games decide to introduce crafting because that's what you do. It's a video game, therefore it's supposed to have a crafting mechanic kind of a thing. I mean, I guess I get the idea of crafting, but I would also say that most games don't even make crafting into a mechanic. It's just a thing that you do in order to get something. It's a menu.
Let's go then!
Damn it. Wow. Okay, whatever. Excuse me. So now I've unlocked elites. Or bigger elites, or whatever. I know what you're thinking. Why didn't you heal? I'm not going to heal in a trash fight. Especially not a trash fight I had 3 seconds after an autosave. Although I probably should start investing into, you know, good healing items. Hey! Oh. I haven't played Bloodstained, so I can't comment on that one. I saw one over here. There it is. Oh! Oh! Oh, that looked painful. Here, one more time, just in case you missed it. Back broken. What's that? You want me to do it another time? Really, guys? God, you're just horrible, aren't you?
And stay down.
Oh my god, it's another gang leader thing. There it is. Hold up. Sure. I think, in my opinion, one of the biggest problems with crafting, and I kind of already hinted at this, is they don't really make it into a mechanic. It's just combine X and Y to make Z, and that's not really gameplay, you know? That's a scavenger hunt. Yeah, it's just there, exactly. Now, that's not true in all cases. Some games actually make it an actual gameplay mechanic. And now I'm struggling to come up with examples, I suppose. WildStar came kind of close. The MMO that is currently dead and you can't play, but, you know. Atelier did that. And I'm sure there's other examples. Bull crap! Sorry, that pissed me off. Whatever, I guess. I'd have to watch the VOD to find out exactly what happened there, but my healing didn't go off. So I just died. And Arcus is like, why didn't you heal? That's a good question. Like I said, I'm going to have to watch the VOD to figure out what went wrong there. Because I'm not sure.
Hmm?
I asked a customer, would you like me to hold your cabbage in English, but they didn't understand at all. Wait, they're holding cabbage, and you asked if you could hold it for them? Well, I knew cabbage wasn't the right word. I know I've heard the word from somewhere. It's right at the tip of my tongue. You mean baggage? You probably mixed up baggage and cabbage, but I think it's also called luggage. Oh, I had no idea. It's incredibly confusing. Yeah, welcome to English. I suppose it's less confusing in English since everything you carry around is technically considered baggage, even pain. Wow, Yagami-san, you know your stuff. I learned a lot today. You're welcome. Now, can I buy some stuff, please? I did actually come here to buy some stuff. Let's have a cheesecake.
Back to it.
Okay, apparently that was not a full heal. Yeah, can I have another thing, please? I would also like a sandwich. I apparently would like a third thing, too. Hang on, hang on. We'll get a croissant. Croissant. I mean, it kind of is Plutonia, in total sincerity. The Yakuza series. So, we had the River City Ransom series, which didn't really go anywhere, even though it's actually still a franchise that's still going to this very day. But it didn't really attain a lot of popularity. Then we had Shenmue, which kind of carried forward the idea a little bit. And then Yakuza came out and just exploded. But honestly, I would say Yakuza is legitimately a modern River City Ransom. What, Takoida? Okay. That's awesome. I do love those release dates out of nowheres. I do. And Metal Wolf Chaos is an awesome game. Legitimately, it's actually a fun game to play, from what I understand. I can't speak to that personally. I've never played it myself. But I've heard nothing but good things about the gameplay. And it's Metal Wolf Chaos. Come on. Listen, I don't really have time for you, so let's try the stairs. Let's try the stairs. Oh, come on. Ah, whatever.
Really, guys?
Speaking of which, how are we doing right now? PS4 at the moment, Taito. I say at the moment because some of their games have been coming out on PC. So who knows? Really? He dropped a play pass.
And stay down.
Alas, nothing will ever surpass Slugger. You know, we should probably stop hanging out at the hideout of what is basically our enemy. I mean, I know. It's not quite our enemy. He's got a backpack.
Shira.
Genuinely surprised.
Kaito-san told me you'd be here.
You know what that reminds me of, Seend? Square Enix a few years ago. We didn't realize that JRPGs were popular.
Don't forget about me next time, yeah?
I wish you'd fucking forget about me. Is there a reason your little gang needs to keep meeting up here?
It's so nice of you to let us use your store, Higashi-san. Especially when you're clearly so opposed to the idea.
Don't talk down to Yakuza, kid.
It's okay, Higashi-san. I think we all know you're nicer than you let on.
What the hell?
Damn, and you're braver than you look, Hoshino-kun. You got the skills to back it up?
Just a third-degree black belt.
Huh?
Not that I've ever had to use it.
Well, I'll call this meeting to order.
Sure. I'll do the honors. Masamichi Shintani of the Genda Law Office has been murdered. Given that his eyes were gouged out, it's likely the mole was responsible. And I'll need all of your help to track him down.
The ADDC, huh? Weird time for that to come up again.
Again? It's come up before?
We can talk about that later. What's important now is Shintani called them before he was killed.
I think I remember them being in the news a lot last year. Something about a new drug that could win a Nobel Prize.
Yeah, here it is.
The ADDC's research into AD9 has now been published. one of the world's leading scientific magazines, leading to the gathering of reporters from both Japan and abroad that we have here today.
It's a brand new dementia drug. They call it AD9. This was right after Director Keto from the ADDC published his paper on it. They're still undergoing clinical trials on larger animals, but apparently every single mouse they've given it to has made a full recovery.
Now, with
the man giving the presentation here is Dr. Ryusuke Keto, a world leader in neurophysiology and the primary researcher on AD9.
He's the one who showed me around the center when I was looking into Okubo's case. Guess he's been the director for a while now.
From what I can tell, the Ministry of Health is increasing the ADDC's budget to hasten the development of AD9. They're even adding another building to the center. It's a huge project.
Damn good deal they've got.
I'm still not getting it, though. Why Shintani go and call them?
That's what we're about to find out. And there's only one way to do that.
Come on! Can't just take a man's phone.
First off, we'll need to figure out who Shintani was calling.
Yeah, but how are we gonna do that over the phone?
I suppose that all depends on your acting skills, Detective Yagami.
I mean, I don't know about you guys, but what I caught out all of that is money.
ADDC, front desk speaking.
Hi there, ma'am. This is...
No one... Oh, I'm so tempted to screw this up. Just on purpose. But no, I mean, you caught that, right? Like, everything they were talking about sounds like a whole lot of money cycling around this project. Now, it's possible that the game is trying to pull off that that is a magic drug. Sure. But if we were to presume they're going with the usual semi-realistic approach to the drama narrative, that is a fake drug, which has a lot of money cycling around it. So, that I feel is a little bit more likely. Totally called the Rage Plague. Anyways, so, this is... No, I really want to screw this up. But no. This is Shintani, a lawyer.
This is Masamichi Shintani. I'm a lawyer from the Genda Law Office.
Oh, it's good to hear from you, Shintani-sama.
Could you put me through to the same person I spoke to yesterday?
Do you know the extension you wish to reach?
Oh, it sort of slipped my mind, sorry. Can you maybe look into the transfer history?
Why don't you just tell me what the call was about, and I'll connect you to the proper department.
Actually, I do, Plutonium.
In that case...
Although I've never seen that personally. Hey, Hazardous. Okay, I'll take some assistance on this one. This is my thought. But I'm not 100% on this. But yeah, exactly, Taquita. That's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking this is a... There's actually a term for this, and I can't think of it. I guess you could just say a classic snake oil thing, but on a wide scale. Yeah, fraud is correct. It is fraud. Massive, large-scale fraud.
It was about the Shinpei Okubo incident. A patient of yours was murdered on site 3 years ago.
You're not with the media, are you?
Nope, I'm most certainly a lawyer.
Why don't I connect you with our publicity department? They'll know more about what you're looking for.
Sure.
Please hold, sir.
Doesn't sound like you're making much progress.
See, I'm gonna need a pinky.
Yes?
It seems our publicity department never received a call from a Shintani-sama.
I see. Thank you anyway. No way this happens over the phone. It'll be faster to just head over there myself.
You think that's gonna work?
Not sure, but I know the director, remember? Worst case scenario, I come back empty-handed.
I'll come with you, Yagami-san.
Okay. Me and Nagashi will go check out what's going on with the Matsugane family. Shouldn't be tough with Hamura out of the picture.
Hey, I don't remember saying I was gonna help you.
By the way, Yagami-san, whatever happened to that guy from 3 years ago? Shinpei Okubo.
He's in the detention center. Been there since they gave him his death sentence.
Have you ever gone to see him, Yagami-san?
No. Why would I? Why do you ask, anyway?
I don't know. I was wondering what he was like. The case got tons of news coverage, you know. I was also wondering what you thought about the case. I mean, did you really think that he was innocent?
Probably.
But then he walked and killed his girlfriend. You defended him for that too, yeah?
Yeah.
Did you believe him then too?
He kept saying the same thing. How he could never have killed anyone. But I didn't believe him, no. Fighting for him in court made me sick to my stomach.
Do you think he deserves the death penalty?
That's enough of the questions, Sugiura.
Well, my bad. Was that too far?
Nah.
If you say so.
You know what? Hang on. I love the story of this game. I think the support shows that. But this is getting a bit much. This is officially irritating me. That's an incident. Like, I'm sorry. We already talked about this. I kind of get what they're going for here, but they are just leaning way too hard on that button. It'd be like if I walked up and I saw Takoida in the street and I was like, "Hey, Takoida, did you know that 3 years ago you accidentally got a guy who killed his, it's whatever, right? You allowed that apple to be eaten by that man, you monster." And Takoida's like, "I know, but I thought he was innocent." And then Takoida goes down and hits the rental place. And in the rental place, he sees Seend. And Seend's like, "Hey, Takoida, so I gotta ask about that guy you allowed to eat that apple." Yeah, it's simply too much. It is a little bit too much. And I think that it's wrong. I think it is bad storytelling. I get the idea of wanting to have it be a major part of the character's arc. I get that. It is clearly a huge part of his character arc because he was the kind of person who believes in defending the innocent. That's why he went into being detective. And, well, to be frank, it's why he went into being a lawyer, right? Like, he has a good overall soul and he wants to do a good thing. He doesn't want to defend the guilty, in short, right? Like, that's been very clearly emphasized. So the fact that he truly believed Okuda was innocent and then defended him, and then the second incident happened, that completely cut him across the knees. He lost all his confidence, he lost his self-worth, blah, 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 blah. All of this makes sense and is good character stuff. It's just, Jesus Christ, stop bringing it up. I actually like Takoida's idea. Rather than having everyone shove it into our faces at every possible opportunity, have it be that, because every now and again he'll go back to his home and take a lay down and have him lay down as he's sitting there and his eyes are open and we have a close-up of his face and then we see, the flames and then we see the woman and then we hear, what do you think? Like a voice in the background, something, as he's remembering incidents about it, try to build it up that way. It might have worked a little bit better. Because at this point we would have had like 3 of those as opposed to 15. Anyways, sorry. I think they're leaning on that button way too hard. And that's the negative. Not the incident itself, not the character stuff.
Yagami-san? You're heading to the ADDC now, yes?
And actually, you know what? I agree, Seend. Them bringing it up here, okay, that makes sense. It's directly connected to what we're doing right now. But like, oh God, I should have been keeping track. I should have been keeping track. How many times this has been brought up to this point? Anyways, moving on.
I'm gonna grab a taxi for us. I'll wait for you over on Park Boulevard.
7 times, Jesus. Another thing that could have worked, I like the idea of this being the second time, is because Colgrim, hey Colgrim, do you remember what happened when Tekoida took that apple 3 years ago? It was horrible. No, okay, I like the idea of this being the second time it's brought up. Once in the intro, you know, the flashback, basically, the 3 years ago. Oh my God, there's been a murder. What? There's been a murder? Fade to black. Don't explain it. Contrast with voice acting, with body posture, with the defeatism, with the fact that he refuses to go back to being a lawyer. Basically, we get all the character info we really need from that without actually having them to lay it out for us because of the way he is now behaving and acting, right? Then, you know, we play for 3 days, we get to this point, and then they actually lay it out more clearly. Basically, the scene we just saw plays word for word, as it just did. And now it's being more properly revealed, the specifics of what happened, and it's just kind of a, yeah, no. Excellent scene. Fantastic. Oh my God. Hi, Colgrim. Thank you very much for the sub. As always, much appreciated. Thank you. If you happen to know where you want to put that, let me know.
The ADDC, huh? This has got to be fate or something.
Otherwise, we'll stab you.
Don't get the wrong idea. I'm not one of your little buddies. Remember that.
But you will be. You will be. You will be. I mean, if you want to get stabbed, that's on you, really. Like that. I'm not here to judge, you know. Like, these guys, they want to get stabbed really badly.
What a waste.
Alright, that's a good idea, Colgrim. Thinking ahead. It's a good move. Let's put that towards Ace Attorney.
Over here, Yagami-san. I have a taxi for us.
Cool. I'm sorry. I'm really liking Tekoida's narrative here. That poor apple. What did it do to deserve this? You defended that man, Tekoida. How can you? Anyways, I'm done.
I've heard a bit about this place before. But the ADDC, isn't it just one part of a larger organization? If I recall correctly, they call it the Medical Institute.
I'm sorry, why is our hair billowing like this? The windows are clearly rolled up, and there's no wind noise.
Is that accurate?
Yeah.
Never mind.
I own every last inch of this campus.
Never mind.
It's incredible. Even with all these buildings, they're still getting budget to expand from that new drug.
Money! I cannot be the only one who sees dollar signs here, or whatever the yen sign is.
So? Is it the same as you remember?
Yeah.
Like, this is just... There's a lot of money cycling this area and this institute and this situation. I know what you're thinking. Why are you making a big deal about that? Because that's the motive.
Huh? Don't go too far ahead! Yagami-san!
Like, that's what's going on here. That's why this is being pushed. I mean, I suppose that's kind of a duh. Guys, did you know people do things for money? But no, part of why I bring it up is because the scope of the money they're talking about would clearly explain away everything we've seen so far. It brings in a bit of scale to the problem.
What are you all shaken up for? Calm down. Just stick with me and you'll be fine. Got that, Yagami?
Well, we're officially hallucinating.
Yagami-san! Try not to just ditch me, okay? Is something wrong?
It's just... After 3 years, it still looks the same.
Huh?
Almost like time itself has stopped.
Yagami-san.
Come on. Front desk's over there.
Should have taken the extract. Yeah, I was about to say, we did take a homemade drugs in lore just a bit ago. God. But no, to fully explain this, in case I'm not getting my point across, like, corrupt cops buying out a Yakuza captain, you know, putting away people and making sure they don't die or making sure they don't get corrupted, provoking a Yakuza war, and all that stuff, all that makes a lot more sense if you think about the scale of the money that's cycling around this situation. What do I have? Not enough.
Do you have an appointment, sir?
No.
I don't, sorry. My name is Hoshino, from the Genda Law Office. This is my partner, Yagami. We're here to talk about a murder that took place in Kamurocho yesterday.
A murder?
A coworker of ours named Shintani. He was the victim.
We have a record that he called this center before he was killed.
Huh?
We're hoping you can help us track down exactly who he spoke to.
I'm very sorry, sir, but I can't provide such private information.
Actually, you can. We just need to subpoena it properly. Hi, Golvug.
Well, could I at least talk to Director Kido instead? He's an old friend of mine. Just let him know Yagami stopped by, to say hello.
I don't think that'll be necessary. Look over there.
Okay. 2 times now, there's been that dude on the left. Have you noticed him? Like, distant-faced, creepy-looking scientist guy. And they've been going out of the way to do that whole present but de-emphasize thing with him. So he's significant in some way. I don't know how. But what do you want to bet he's the one who's actually behind whatever this drug is? Like, whatever it actually is, I should say. I was thinking a similar thing, by the way, seemed. And that guy looks like a politician. The guy on the right. Dun, 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 dun. Ch, ch, ch. Oh, oh, oh.
Gentlemen, I really don't know what else you want from me. I have nothing more to say. I've told the police all that I know.
Okay, in total contrast to all my complaining and the story negative I gave, this is a great way to exposit on this crap. Yeah, the flashbacks melding into reality thing and showing us what actually happened back then. Like, I like that. I like that. And yeah, as Dakota says, it's very Max Payne-y, which, yeah, do it. I loved the cheese of Max Payne.
Sorry about all this, Director. Problem is, my partner here won't give it a rest till he sees the scene of the crime. But I'm sure we'll be leaving soon.
That's not what we agreed upon. You know this isn't about how long it takes.
And what about Okubo? I take it he's still not fessed up.
No, not quite as of yet, sir. But we all saw where the body was. Exactly where he said it would be.
Quite true. Not much point in fighting this now. The Minister has made it clear that he wants it resolved soon as well.
The Minister. What do you want to bet? That's politician guy from earlier.
Just look at how much trouble one contractor has caused.
Sorry, which minister? I didn't know about this, sir.
The Health Minister. It's all his call how much funding we get.
Director, if I may, if you would just direct me to the scene of the crime, I could head over there myself. I'll be out of your hair in no time, I assure you.
I'd rather you didn't wander on your own. So instead, she can show you. Terasawa-kun, these gentlemen here are Shintani-sensei and,
Yagami.
It's a pleasure. I hope I can help you find what you need.
Well, with that, I'll be taking my leave.
Thank you again, Director. Apologies for all the trouble.
I was just about to say something, Seed.
I can show you how to get to Waku-san's room.
Who's Waku-san?
The guy who died in his room?
Oh, yeah. And you are... Terasawa-san, huh? Wow, you're young. And a looker to boot.
Can we keep this professional?
Huh?
Yeah,
Nice
seriously,
try,
dude.
Shintani-sensei.
Come on, Shintani. I actually like you. Don't make me stab you.
The friendliest girl in town,
Oh
huh?
my god, it's actually playable.
Welcome guests here.
After I busted my ass to pass the bar, I always figured I'd have my pick of the ladies.
I'd say lawyers aren't pulling, but actually they totally are, at least here in the States, so... That goes for both genders, by the way.
Right this way, please. Straight ahead is the ADDC's general ward. Waku-san's room is on the 4th floor.
No. Absol. He's actually wandering around in his fugue state here. Mr. Yagami, where are you going?
This was the room assigned to Waku-san.
Well, at least it wasn't room 404. Sorry.
What's down there?
That's the research wing, where they develop all our new drugs.
Oh.
You can't get in without a gold key card, though. Not even I have one.
Gold, huh?
I suppose because it's the heart of the center's operations.
Huh. Sounds like it's a whole nother world back there. Security like that must be a bitch. Come on, Yagami.
Before he died, Waku-san spent most of his time in here.
And when was he admitted?
2 years ago. With Alzheimer's.
Some kind of dementia, right?
Alzheimer's is a neurodegenerative disease that leads to dementia, yes. In fact, it's the cause of almost 70% of all dementia cases.
So, they're one and the same, kinda?
No, you freaking moron. Whap! God damn, dude. Okay, we're cool.
Anyway, do what you gotta do, Yagami.
First I must gaze into her eyes. I was just joking. She doesn't look too happy, probably because Shintani-sensei has been a creep ever since he laid eyes on her. I wouldn't know anything about that. What's that say again? Oh my god, it's actually an option. I shouldn't stare like this. Oh my god! Okay, where's the cat? Can I move? I can move. Okay, where's the cat? Where's the cat? Where are you, cat? I must find a cat 3 years ago. Where are you, cat? There you are.
What the?
Canonically, this is the first cat we found. Okay. Wait, hang on.
Suspicious.
Oh my god, it's an option! It's actually an option! That's it. I'm out. I'm not staring at anyone's butt. What are you talking about? Oh god, trophy earned. Way too thorough.
Has anyone else slept here since Waku-san's death?
Nobody, no.
And Waku-san was missing from his room the morning of the incident, yes?
That's right.
So he was murdered here, then carried out.
I can't say for sure, but it's likely.
Hey, the window's sealed shut. There's no way Waku-san could have escaped through here. What the? All the rooms have windows like this, right? It seems like people would notice if something was going on in here.
Well, we only have so many employees in this ward. The halls stay fairly busy, but it's mostly dementia patients moving between appointments.
I see. I wonder how the room looks from the hallway.
You got all you need from here, yeah?
I think so. You can definitely see what's going on from out here. Shintani-sensei, can you lay on the bed for me?
I guess so. Care to join me, Terasawa-san? What do you got to lose? It was a joke.
So from this vantage point, you can't make out the person's face.
So, was this the colossal waste of time I knew it'd be?
Nope. I got something I'd only get from being here.
Does it matter? It's been days. Case is practically closed. Shinpei Okubo is guilty as hell.
Well, according to him, he's not.
Well, of course that's what he says. Consider the facts, though, man. You want to review the case?
Sure. Let's go over what we know so far.
Whatever you want. All right, here we go. Our victim was the patient staying in this room. Koichi Waku, male, age 66. At 8:30 a.m. on the morning of the crime, the nurses noticed he was missing from his bed. Given Waku's degenerative state, they assumed he was wandering around the hospital somewhere. But after being unable to track him down, hospital staff filed a missing persons report.
Right.
You know what a dementia patient's like, though. Hard to imagine they'd make it outside on their own. The only conclusion then was that somebody must have taken him out of the hospital. After inspecting all the cars that came in and out of the center, they were left with one possible suspect. A laundryman by the name of Shinpei Okubo. It didn't take much prodding for Okubo to confess burying Waku's body out in the mountains. And lo and behold, 3 months after Waku disappeared, the cops found his body rotting away right where Okubo said it'd be. Cause of death was most likely suffocation, but they still don't know for sure. Any objections to this so far, Yagami-sensei?
Actually, yeah. You're forgetting something.
And what's that?
Okubo-kun insists he didn't kill anyone. All he admits to is dumping the body.
Oh, sure. But come on, Yagami. Guy's got a history of assault, and it's on record. Roughed up his girlfriend. Accidentally broke her finger.
Right, but that was over 6 years ago. He was just a kid. Got drunk, made a huge mistake.
And what? It's okay for a kid to hit a woman?
Of course not. But that's not what he's on trial for.
True.
I don't condone what he did. But legally, committing one crime doesn't mean you're guilty of another.
I mean, even in reality land, committing one crime does not mean you're guilty of another. You crossed that street in a place that wasn't the crosswalk. Therefore, you have committed this murder. I mean, come on.
Fine. But what about Okubo's shaky alibi? He said he left the center at 10 a.m. after grabbing the sheets from the general ward. Claimed Waku-san's corpse somehow got loaded into his truck. Who's gonna believe garbage like that?
If anyone should, it's his lawyers.
We're meeting with Okubo after this, right? You should just be honest with him. Tell him the case is unwinnable.
Are you two done here?
Yep. Can you show us the garage next? The one where Okubo-kun parked his truck. The service entrance, I think it was. That's the only other place we'll need to see today.
We'll need to take an elevator down there. Follow me.
Hey, my phone has all these apps from the future. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and lay it out what I think right now, and I'm probably completely wrong. I think that, I think that the murder victim, I forget his name, the 66-year-old guy, I think he was a convenient patsy for fake trials on a fake drug that isn't actually going to cure anything. That several people, including the minister, as well as whoever else is involved in here, in this hospital, are pushing in order to increase their funding for the entire organization. I think that as a consequence of this,
they decided to use, let's call them disposable people, in order to test the drug, in order to try and show some of their work, show some of their trials. And as a consequence, sometimes those trials don't go well, so they order those people disposed of. Now, Okubo, in my opinion, was ordered by someone to dispose of that body in the mountains. And thus, yeah, exactly, Dakota. And thus, when, called to question for the missing person, he was like, well, I was, it's in the mountains. But of course, he doesn't say he was told to do that, because... Now, that would basically make him complicit in a weird way with the murder, but it doesn't actually make him the murderer. This is what I think so far seen. Does that answer your question?
I'm ready to go.
Now, I do agree with Takoida. This is a little bit too overt, which means either the story is not as well constructed as I think it is, or there's another factor I don't know going on here, basically. I suppose it is also possible that the company and or whoever is in charge of pushing this is either that disorganized or that stupid. Lord knows real life has shown that many times. Now to run over here and yeah, woo, woo, yeah. Oh, right. Sorry. Woo, 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 woo. Oh, sorry. Excuse me. Sorry. Oh, this way. Woo, woo. Oh God, I lost her. Oh, there she is. Okay, we're okay.
Hey, Yagami, you're never gonna last if you keep taking cases like this. Criminal suits are a constant test of your conviction, your sense of justice. They don't even pay that well.
Careful who you say that around.
Look, just chill out, okay? Take it from me. I've been around the block way longer than you have.
How does eyes gouging out relate to dementia medicine? Side effects. Now, I don't know this, but I said from the beginning that the eyes gouging out was a ritual thing, and probably not even the cause of death. What do you want to bet that this dementia thing causes some visible sign in the eyes, so the eyes had to be removed to cover the evidence? Hence the ritual killing. It would also mean this isn't really the act of a serial killer.
Looks like a regular old garage to me.
It's a enforcer for the company.
You'd make it out with no problem if you put a body into your truck down here. It's quiet.
It is.
Hey, Yagami, check this out. These are the carts they use to collect sheets and linens. Day of the crime, Okubo was all over the hospital with one of these things. It would have been simple for him to sneak a body in there and cart it right out.
Maybe so.
I agree, Seend.
Where was Okubo parked on the day of the incident?
That's true. It could also be that basically you do something to the eyes to inject it, and if it goes badly, then obviously they're screwed and you've just injected crap into their eyes, so...
Oh,
Also, why do it on Shintani? Well, how many of you have seen Ant-Man? I'm going to use a weird analogy here, but in Ant-Man, the villain is trying to develop a shrinking technology, right? Now, it doesn't work, so instead, everything he shrinks turns into a bile of composite goop, basically instantly eradicating it. Which means, and Ant-Man never covers this because Ant-Man is not the smartest written film ever, what he has actually invented is an excellent method of killing people. In short, what do you want to bet that someone or someones are basically going out of their way to use this method to specifically kill people, in addition to the test trials things they're doing? It's like, okay, well, we need to get rid of this guy, so let's just inject him with the dementia drug. Ugh. Oh, spray would be perfect.
with the back facing the elevator. Here's a recreation of it.
I see.
DNA evidence from the victim was found in the flatbed of the truck. That's proof enough that the body was there. And when they confronted Okubo, he flat out admitted it.
Can I just say I like this whole section, by the way? Like, making this playable was a very good choice, in my opinion. This is basically a Princess Peach section, even though we're playing the same character.
When was Waku-san last seen?
Just before 8 a.m. on the day of the crime.
Yeah, 7:50 to be precise. An ADDC scientist will be testifying to that. He claims he saw him nice and cozy in his bed.
I see. Can we talk to this witness?
I tried to get an appointment, but they shut me down. Said they don't want us interfering with their research anymore.
They're not willing to make an exception this once?
Also, red flag, red flag.
This isn't an issue you want to push, Yagami. Worst case scenario, you get charged with witness intimidation.
All right. Anyway, the victim was last seen at 7:50.
That's right. Breakfast is at 8 o'clock, so the patients who can walk on their own gather in the break room. But on the day of his disappearance, 8:30 came and went with no sign of Waku-san.
You thought you'd find him quickly. Didn't exactly turn out that way.
Right.
Got that, Yagami? Here, let's go over some more details. What we know is, Waku was taken out of his room sometime between 7:50 when he was last seen, and 8:30 when everyone noticed he was gone. During that 40-minute span, somebody suffocated Waku and stuffed him into the laundry bin.
Point of order, we don't actually know the cause of death.
Nobody suspected there was a body in the cart. And the only clear culprit was Okubo, the man in charge of the laundry. To further back this up, DNA evidence from Waku was found in Okubo's truck. Then when the police questioned Okubo, he confessed to burying the body in the mountains of Okutama. 3 months after the crime, Waku's corpse was finally found. With me? This thing's airtight, Yagami.
No, it isn't. You're just a bad lawyer. And I don't mean to say that as an insult, more as a statement of fact. It's actually been a point both Genda and us have pulled up more than once.
I know you're getting into this, but come on. Just give it up already. You don't have a chance.
Even though Okubo says he's innocent, I promised him we'd do everything we could.
Not my problem. You shouldn't make promises you can't keep.
Fine, then I'll do it alone. You don't have to be involved.
Even if I'm not, the loss will hurt Genda-sensei's reputation.
I'm sorry, but our client says he's innocent. I can't back down from this.
Fine. I'll be in the lobby.
Like, granted, I'm not a lawyer, but I can already poke like 3 holes through
If
this.
you like, I could take you to see Waku-san's room again.
You don't mind? Oh, that would be great. Waku-san was here until the morning of the incident. Then he just up and disappeared.
But why would he, Saint? Oh, that's why. So this case gets opened. Shintani is the one basically assigned to the case. Someone involved in, let's just call them the bad guys, those that slither in the dark, reaches out to Shintani and says, hey, we're going to kill you if you break the lid on this. Keep your nose out of it. Intimidate him down, basically. So Shintani has been stonewalling this, theoretically at least, even back in the day. And that would be why he has continued to do so into the modern era. And it got him killed.
Are you finished?
No, sorry. Give me a
Not
second. Hang on. Sorry, I apologize.
The window's sealed shut. There's no way Wakusan could have escaped through here.
No, I saw that scene. Now, it is entirely possible that he was that way because he thought this was an open and shut case. And if we're being blunt, he could have also thought that because he's a bad lawyer. I pointed this out a few days ago, or maybe it was yesterday. I don't remember. I feel like I've been playing this game longer than 3 days. One of the problems with prosecutors is they tend to go for simple answers, not complex ones. They investigate right up until they think they've got the case, and then they stop. Right? I've gotten that impression from Shintane several times, even when we were defending Hamura. He was like, all you have to do is prove this alibi, and I'm like, that's a simple answer. It's a valid one, but that only ends this particular thread of legal entanglement. It doesn't prevent against any other possibilities of what the prosecutor might bring up, and it doesn't answer any of the actual questions being raised by this case. It's a simple mindset, in short. Yeah, exactly, Andrew. So it is possible that he's either in on it, that he is incompetent, or I guess that he's just not interested, I suppose would be the third option. Anyways, hang on. The controller's vibrating somewhere around here, but I don't see anything else to interact with. Come on, game. Give me something.
I wonder how well you can see in here from the hallway.
Didn't I already do that? I feel like I already did that. It could also... Those are not mutually exclusive. That's true. Am I missing anything here? Oh, well, screw it. I give up. I give up. I give up. I give up. Actually, yeah, can I go into first person? No, I can't pull up the camera. Koichi Waku, that's him. I like that. Even in the case files, cause of death, unknown. I don't know why, but for some reason the biggest flag that's jumping out at me here is the fact that anybody could be lying down on that bed and they wouldn't tell who it is. Not unless they really tried to investigate. Like, unless they really bothered to open the door or really peek in, they would just see a person lying down. And speaking from personal experience on this matter, I can tell you that most orderlies, unless they're dealing with a problem case, will just glance in the window to see that a person is there. The catch is, though, I don't get what that would avail anyone if someone else was here. The only thing I could come up with in that line is if he wasn't here, that he was off getting the trial thing, or the test thing that I mentioned, and they just put someone, said they told someone else, hey, lay down here for like half an hour. Okay.
Are you finished?
In short, that he would have been gone and possibly died quite a bit earlier than they postulate.
Yeah, I've seen what I need. Anything else you can share?
Now, the thing is, that will only flub the timeline a little bit, because someone will notice the absence of the person in the exact same manner that they eventually did. He didn't show up for breakfast. So that basically means, even though time of death could be flubbed, it would only move it forward like somewhere within the range of 12 hours. Sometime between the last actual visible acknowledgement of him, which would have been the previous day, probably during dinner, and breakfast, the time when he was actually missed. Now that is a pretty big gap of time, and that could explain, taking him away and or whatever, but still.
How long will Okubo-san's sentence be?
Huh?
If he's found guilty, that is.
Probably 10 years, maybe more. It's hard to say for sure.
And what if he confesses? Would they shorten his sentence?
Well, at the very least, it'd make a better impression than insisting he didn't do it.
But you're still going to push an innocent plea? Even though Okubo-san is the one who'll suffer for it?
If he's really not guilty, he won't have to. I'll win. But to be perfectly honest, this is my first criminal case.
What?
Civil cases have been a mixed bag for me, too. I've actually lost more than I've won.
Is that so?
That's true,
Apparently, a
Venters.
smart lawyer would never even consider an innocent plea in this case.
I mean, it's Japan, 99% conviction rate. We've already talked about that. So, Venters is right, though. Shifting that timeline from about 40 minutes to about 12 hours, that means lots of people are suspect rather than it can only be him, which is part of their case. So if we are able, sorry for thinking legally here, if we could destroy that point and establish that their point that he is the only suspect is not airtight, which we can do effortlessly, then we have established that there's the possibility of other suspects. Now, that doesn't prove he's innocent. However, it does destroy part of their evidence. It destroys part of their case.
Guess it's a good thing that I'm not so smart then, because I honestly believe I can win. Terasawa-san, were you close to Okubo-kun?
I spoke to him pretty often, yes. I would see him around the ward all the time.
And what did you think of him? Did he seem like the kind of guy who'd do something like this?
I'm sorry. The director told us not to say too much.
Red flag. Red flag.
Wait! If you know anything that can help, just get in touch, okay? I'll do whatever it takes to set Okubo-kun free. But I can't do it alone. Just give it some thought, Terasawa-san.
So she's the girlfriend, right? Like, I'm sorry, I'm terrible with names, you know this. But she's the woman who dies in the fire, right?
Just now, we went to the ADDC. Thought I should have a look at things with my own eyes.
And how did it go?
There's no chance you walk. You're practically a lost cause.
Hey.
Yagami-sensei, is that what you think?
It's like this, Okubo. You tell me you're innocent, and I'll fight to the end. I really have nothing to lose by helping you out.
It's just like I told you. Whoever did it is framing me.
This is actually the first time we've really seen this guy. Technically the second time, but still. I'm just amused that this critical character that we've referenced 7 times is just now showing up.
You were in the general ward at the ADDC, yes? Starting at 8 a.m., you went around to each room and gathered the linens.
Yes. Nobody would dispute that.
And after that, you covered Waku-san's nose and mouth, suffocated him, and then carted him out in the laundry bin.
That's not true. Waku-san wasn't there when I went into his room. I didn't see him at all that day. You have to believe me.
And I do. So when you went down to leave the center at 10 a.m. after gathering the linens, you realized there was a body hidden in the truck.
Yes. That's what happened.
Then, after debating whether or not to report the body, you chose to hide it in the mountains.
Yeah, see, the problem is, this is part of why I suspect that he was actually ordered to do that. Because deciding of his own volition to just go bury a body in his truck is... no.
I had a criminal assault on my record. I knew the police would have suspected me if I went to them.
Though I'll believe that.
Aren't you forgetting the bad blood you had with Waku-san?
Huh? Bad blood? What are you talking about?
3 days before the murder, Waku-san claimed Okubo-kun here punched him and stole his wallet.
I'm going to share a story really quick with you. There is a... I'm going to delete names, okay? Bob and Bob 2 have a grandmother, Bobina. Bobina is suffering from delirium. Or dementia, excuse me. Dementia, sorry. Let me use correct terminology here. So, Bob is a decent guy. Bob, too, the brother, actually does have a criminal record. Bobina accuses Bob, too, of, punching her and stealing her wallet, right? Now, I'm going to go and spoil this for you. Bob, too, didn't do jack on that. In fact, Bob, too, not only didn't do jack on that, but that was incredibly easy to prove. I don't know if you're aware of this, but hospitals that have dementia patients tend to have cameras, among other things. Now, I point this out because this is an almost identical case. Bob 2 did have a pretty bad criminal record, and Bobina did accuse Bob 2 of doing that. But everyone involved was like, no, she had dementia. Now, I point this, and obviously they were able to fundamentally prove that he did not do this, by the way. But I point this out. It was actually, she claimed he threatened her, like death threatened, like, I'm going to murder you, and then tried to stab her to death. So it's pretty obvious why no one believed her. But I point this out because anyone with a functioning brain would have to examine very carefully any kind of accusation from a dementia patient. Because it's called dementia for a reason.
They told me all about it at the center.
When did you even ask?
While you were busy chatting up Terasawa-chan. Even if I bitch about it, I'm still damn good at my job.
No, you aren't.
Well, Okubo-kun, did you take his wallet, or...?
Not quite. They call it delusion of theft. It's a symptom of dementia. You think something's been stolen from you, then blame the first person you see. Not the easiest thing to deal with, right? Someone accuses you of theft for no reason? Must have been a shock.
Now, I'll at least give him credit for the fact that he acknowledged the reality of that.
So when Waku-san tried to hit you, you just about hit him back.
But I didn't hit him.
No. You murdered him.
He accused me of theft. That's why I brutally murdered him.
And I just want to point out one thing really quick. I've talked about distance, the distance theory before, and I have to say it's a theory because I can't 100% prove such a thing, but it's the whole, it's easier to do something horrible the more distanced you are to it, right? That whole thing. I point that out because murdering someone with your bare hands is as close to that act as you can get. It's the kind of thing that most human beings are not physically or mentally or emotionally capable of doing. So you've decided that this guy has jumped from, I had a threat of I was accused of stealing from him and almost hit and didn't hit back to, I'm going to personally murder you. Again, important, with bare hands. Jesus Christ, dude, Shintani. Can I ask something, Scene? Do we ever find out if he's in on it or just incompetent? Like, is that ever revealed? I don't care if it's true or not. I'm just curious if they ever cover this.
I wouldn't kill a man over something like that.
I wish I could believe you, pal.
But I've been paid off.
Kun, you got a record of violence.
Can I also add that the whole record of violence thing is a very real, very bad stigma, at least here in the States. I don't know about other countries. Like, if you, as a kid, decided to attack, this is a real example from a person I know, I don't want to call him a friend, but if you as a kid decided to go and attack someone and try to rob them, and you were drunk at the time, because he was drunk, people will be bringing that up for like 10 plus years. Like, oh, you had a criminal record, I see. Well, yeah, but, I was actually, he was actually a juvenile at the time. He went to juvie for that. That's how young he was at the time. This was pre-high school. So, clearly, he is a criminal forever. And you know what's really messed up about that? One of the
best things, one of the most common things, I should put it more accurately, one of the most common things that pushes people to criminal behavior is lacking the ability to not be a criminal. You can't get a job or a place to live, so you steal. And you get the idea of where this is going.
It wasn't me. I swear. Somebody set me up. Please, you have to believe me. Whoever did this is laughing at all of us right now.
Calm down.
Yagami-sensei, do you believe me?
I do.
Okay. Then next time, come alone.
Fine. I can take a hint. You and Yagami-sensei can cuddle up all you want.
Oh, Yuri Lowenthal's great. I was wondering why they picked Yuri Lowenthal, who was an excellent actor, for a character who had like 2 lines of dialogue. I knew it, Absol. No, And yes, Shintani just pieces out. Basically, what I'm asking, Scene, is if the question is ever answered. That's the question I'm asking. It's easy to not spoil if you just say, do they ever cover this? Because that just that's all that's spoiling for me is the level of quality in the storytelling. So, yes, there you go. That's what I wanted to know.
Hey, you know that nurse, Terasawa-san? Cute girl. Sounded like she was worried about you. Bet you'd have a chance with her once you get out of here.
I don't know. If you'll excuse me.
Oh, I think he looks so much better with the suit and the hair. Like, holy crap, he looks infinitely better.
So Shintani just left you hanging, huh? He's got to learn some damn patience.
Maybe so. But this is my case now. I can handle it myself.
Agreed, Plutonia.
Okay.
I got this. I mean, granted, I don't think this is a good haircut, to be clear. I just think it's a better hair look for him.
Yagami-san.
Hmm?
Have you seen Mafia lately?
Where's this coming from?
She's just not that great with men. I suggest you be more assertive.
Right. Okay.
Hint, hint.
You mean that friend of yours, Saori-kun? She's got Shintani all riled up. Said he'd have been nicer to you if he knew you had friends who looked like her. Jackass.
Hey, nothing's official yet, guys. Regardless, keep it on the down low, okay?
Yet? That word says more than you think.
Listen, stop analyzing my dialogue. It's not cool. Right.
I'll keep my lips sealed.
Thanks. Wait, I've got it, guys. Shintani, for the 10 seconds that he was dead during Kingdom Hearts 2, he was replaced by a body double, which was made with a digital copy.
Mafia-kun's a prosecutor, right? Isn't it kind of taboo for her to date a defense attorney?
Can we not do this?
Either way, guess the Okubo case comes first. We're pleading innocent, yeah?
That's the plan.
What is your plan here? This isn't gonna be an easy win.
Well, I'm working on that. There's one piece of evidence that still bothers me.
Yeah? And what's that?
The one piece of evidence that bothers me is that one. I don't even have to mention that. I don't even have to think about that.
It's the hospital room the victim was staying in. This is the last place Waku-san was seen before he disappeared. At the time, the witness would have seen Waku-san from this angle through the window in the door. But the cabinet here would have been blocking his face.
Uh-huh.
In other words, there's room to argue that the witness never actually saw Waku-san to begin with. It might have just looked like there was somebody in there. Or maybe the killer set it up to look that way.
And how would that impact the trial?
Well, the premise that the victim was still alive at 8 o'clock would no longer be on the table. Meaning, the crime could have occurred during a much wider time range.
Bingo.
With that in mind, we could claim there's no proof that Okubo took Wakusan out of the room.
Right. Not bad.
What the hell's your problem?
Was that Shintani?
I think so.
Get back here!
Unfortunately, no, Adam.
That bastard. Oh, was eavesdropping on you.
What the hell?
I tried to stop him, but he pulled a stun gun on me.
So here's a question for you.
Hey,
obvious woman.
wait up.
Do you think Shintani is dirty or bad? Bonus points if you don't think there's a difference between the two. You ever run in a suit before?
Hold up.
Whoops. You're probably wondering why I even bring that up. It came up during a choreography session. I've never actually done it, to be clear. We were setting up choreography for something Matrix related, and we wanted to have we wanted to have people wandering around in suits to be agents. We found out during the part of our investigation that they actually made custom suits for the agents that basically aren't suits. Like, they look like suits on the outside, but they're effectively wearing a tracksuit underneath, like a jumpsuit kind of a thing, so that they still have freedom of movement, and they just have to kind of cover up some of it with, you know, special effects. Just neat little thing there. So if you ever see someone fighting or doing like kung fu or whatever in a business suit, it's because they have one of those custom tailored suits.
A woman?
Yeah.
Help! Someone help me!
Aren't you Terasawa-san?
Let me go!
I don't know what the Secret Service does.
We got a groper out here? Scum of the earth! Not on my watch, you son of a bitch!
So now we're fighting in the past. We're still in the flashback. This is one of the more extensive Princess Peach sections I've seen in a while. Oh god, I don't have like any of the abilities I should. Yep, okay. Oh god, I'm just default. Oh god, I'm not used to default. Okay. I mean, he did say it was mostly taught from experience on the streets, so, you know, that makes sense. Of course, Baron. That's good. Like, I know that sounds like a weird thing, but we shouldn't have all those abilities. Excuse me. We should have... Oh, really? Nothing? Okay, how about over here? There we go. Speaking as someone who's wearing a suit jacket right now, yeah, this very much limits my arm movement. Like, just raising the arm straight up is actually hard to do because of the cut of it. If you ever see me just kind of do a little maneuver here, it's me re-straightening it because I'm moving around too much. And I'm just sitting here. So anyways.
Can all lawyers fight like that?
Neither, actually, Baron. This is an expensive suit that is not custom tailored. A custom tailored suit would cost about 3 times what this one does. I should know, I've looked into it.
Did you really need to run away like that? I assume you came to see me.
There was something I wanted to talk to you about, yes. But I wasn't sure if I should. Then that pig-headed friend of yours started shouting, so I just lost it.
Okay, but did you have to tase him? Not that he didn't have it coming. Anyway, I'm listening if you want to talk. No matter what it is, I'll keep your secret. Anything you tell me will fall under client attorney privilege.
Fun fact, client attorney privilege is not actually an absolute. It's close. You have to go really far and have a lot of justification to violate it, but you can. It's the same thing with doctor-patient confidentiality. You can violate doctor-patient confidentiality. It's just, it takes certain requirements to get there. I don't know if that's true in Japan or not.
Well, you know the witness who last saw Waku-san? Said he saw him sleeping in his bed.
Uh-huh.
Well, that witness is a man by the name of Shono-san. He's one of the scientists at the ADDC. Not only that, but he's the director's right-hand man, too.
And this is him?
Yes. He's a very dedicated doctor, so the nurses have a lot of faith in him.
Recognize him?
Something felt off when I heard what he had to say about the incident.
And what's that?
I guess I'm just skeptical as to whether or not he actually saw Waku-san. I don't think he's intentionally deceiving us, but he may be mistaken somehow. And if I had to guess, I'd say the other nurses feel the same.
Still, why hasn't anyone mentioned this until now?
How could we? Nurses talking about a doctor behind his back? That's not something a nurse could do without consequences. And if it came to a courtroom testimony...
None of you would testify?
That's one of those unfortunate realities. This has come up many times as well. Now, again, criminal cases are kind of different, but there are several cases where people will basically refuse to testify because, as I pointed out before, hearings and trials are public record. You can just walk in, which means news will get out that you're testifying, for example, against your boss or in opposition to your boss. So corporate politics can and has get involved here, where people will refuse to testify because they don't want to threaten their job. Now, the best part is here in the States, there's nothing that really protects you from that. Not really. Like, you can say you cannot directly fire them as a consequence of this, but that's fine. All they'll do is come up with some other excuse, and that'll be, on paper, the reason you're fired, not the fact that you decided to testify. And, as Takoida points out, that especially when it comes to like the medical industry, or say the not the IT industry, the ISP industry, because I've seen this one happen, you can get blacklisted, and so then you have trouble getting a job in the same industry in the future because you're a whistleblower, right?
Maybe the other nurses wouldn't, but I would. I never really fit in over there anyway. Besides...
Yeah?
I think Okubo-san is innocent.
Oh, really? Sounds like I've finally got an ally on my team.
Oof.
I'm currently employed as a researcher at the Advanced Drug Development Center. Part of our research consists of clinical tests we perform on patients in the general ward of the center. On the day of the crime, I was making my usual rounds through the ward.
I was say, isn't that Burton? Or not Burton, what's his name? Thornton.
And what time was that?
Around 7:50?
You're sure?
Yes. The patients eat breakfast at precisely 8 o'clock. I always head to the break room myself, right around then, too.
This break room, to be precise?
That's correct. Our more mobile patients walk there for breakfast instead of eating in their own rooms. Then, while the nurses help the patients eat, I ask about how they feel and how the medicine is treating them.
And on the day of Waku-san's disappearance, you passed by his room before going to the break room?
Yes.
And in that room, you saw Waku-san lying on the bed?
Yes.
Can you describe the situation to us as you remember it?
The door has a window, so you can see into the room from the hallway.
And this is the room you're referring to, yes?
That's correct. From where I was standing in the hallway, I could see Waku-san lying in bed. He was asleep, with a blanket covering most of his body.
And what time was that?
Around 7:50.
No further questions.
Very minor touch. They bothered to give a different graphic for everyone's monitors who was observing. Nice little detail there. Different layout.
Yagami-sensei, why did you call her to the stand?
She actually asked to testify. Is that a problem?
Not really, no.
Here's my chance for a comeback. Also, I like how the Master of Masters was just talking to Ansem.
Terasawa-san, you were present for Shono-san's testimony just now, yes?
Yes.
And what is your opinion on that testimony?
For a scientist, I felt his wording was rather imprecise. And as a medical professional, I felt his actions were negligent.
Could I ask you to be a little more specific?
Hey!
Our witness, Shono-san, claims he saw Waku-san sleeping in his bed during his morning rounds. However, there's no way he could have known that just by looking in from the hallway.
I have evidence supporting Terasawa-san's testimony.
Which evidence is it? It's this one.
Please look at this. It's a photograph of the victim's room as viewed from the hallway. In other words, this is what Shono-san would have seen when he checked in on Waku-san.
Wait, what? I guess this one? But that feels weird. Like, it would be more accurate to... I'm not trying to prove that he's lying. I'm trying to prove that he was wrong. There's a difference.
Shono-san was lying when he said he saw Waku-san in the bed. Excuse me? What he saw from the door was likely nothing more than a bulge of sheets. He couldn't have been able to identify it specifically as Waku-san. So to claim as much in his testimony seems like quite an exaggeration, don't you think?
But common sense would dictate otherwise, would it not? Who would be in the bed other than Waku-san?
The staff nurses are trained to always enter a room when checking in on a patient. In Waku-san's case, it's impossible to tell anything just by looking in from the hallway. There was actually one time a while back where we thought he was under the covers, only to find Waku-san eating in the break room a second later. And upon re-examining the room, we realized that we had mistaken a bunched-up pillow for Waku-san.
The witness makes an important distinction. The prosecution asserts that Shono-san's testimony is clear, that the victim was taken out of his room at some point between 7:50 and 8:30 in the morning. They claim that because of this time frame, the defendant must have smuggled Waku-san's body out in his laundry bin. But if Shono-san's testimony is invalid, as the defense asserts, we have to consider the possibility that Waku-san was taken in the middle of the night when nobody else was around. After which, the killer could have waited until the morning to plant the body in the defendant's truck. In other words, the defense establishes that there is reasonable doubt that Okubo-san is the killer, rendering the prosecution's central argument unsound. Your Honor, taking this new testimony into account, I'd like to call Shono-san back to the stand for cross-examination. Shono-san.
Yes?
I'll get right to the point. On the day of the crime, what did you see when you looked into Waku-san's room?
I saw Waku-san asleep in his bed, I think.
I feel like pointing this out. This is why this guy is sketchy. He is still not answering the question. If you say, I saw Bob, and I'm saying, well, it couldn't have been Bob because of blah, blah, blah. So what did you see? And you say, well, I think I saw Bob. You are still not actually answering the question. Because what I asked is, what did you see? Now, a proper response here would be, well, there was a mass, obviously, under the sheets, trailing out, towards the end of the bed. That would be the actual answer being looked for here. Now, I know what you're thinking. Laura, you're just being nitpicky. A, we've already established our point here. B, he's supposed to be a researcher. C, he's supposed to be a medical researcher, which is all about very precise detail.
And did you get a clear look at his face?
I don't remember.
Look at how vague he's being.
So it's possible that it could have been someone other than Waku-san in that bed. Or maybe even a pillow that you mistook to be Waku-san's body. Isn't that right?
Objection! The defense is leading the witness.
Sustained.
Yeah,
Please rephrase
that
the
is
question.
leading.
Shono-san, can you say without a doubt that Waku-san was in that bed when you checked on him?
I don't think I can, no.
Then the defense rests. But I do have a quick remark for the prosecution.
Huh?
The charges against my client stem from your assertion that he's the only possible suspect, assuming the crime took place within the stated time frame. However, the defense has proven without a doubt that Shono-san's testimony is unreliable, establishing reasonable doubt for my client. I would suggest, then, that you withdraw the charges against my client. With such inconclusive evidence, you'll only be wasting the court's precious time.
The prosecution does not consider the witness's testimony inconclusive. His memory of the incident may be fuzzy, yes, but that doesn't change that he saw the victim.
So, your whole case is based on a fuzzy memory? This promising young man's future is at stake, and you're willing to throw that away on unreliable testimony?
As a quick aside, I don't know how this works in Japan, but here in the States, trying to get someone hanged on a murder charge by testimony of one guy is mega not happening.
Dr. Shono is a bright and diligent researcher. After watching his own grandmother develop dementia, he vowed to create a drug that could cure the disease.
Oh. That makes sense. He thinks he's actually trying to make a real drug. That's the final piece right there.
After paying his own way through medical school, he went on to become the head researcher at the ADDC. Day after day, Dr. Shono visits his sick patients out of the kindness of his heart, leading to his valiant testimony here today. If you want to know whether I trust this man, then my answer is a resounding yes.
In other words, because he's such a great researcher, his testimony is infallible. His own admission that he's not sure is somehow overlooked? Is that the sum of it? Because from here, it sounds like you're putting your faith in Shono-san's title, not his testimony today.
The prosecution is not as easily swayed as you think. And you want to talk reputation? What of your client's history of domestic abuse? 6 years ago, the defendant broke his girlfriend's finger. The poor girl is still suffering from the effects. And the cause? A minor, drunken disagreement. Now, fast forward to what occurred a few days prior to the crime. Waku-san, suspecting the defendant of stealing his wallet, lashed out and punched the defendant in the face. Given the clearly violent nature of Okubo-san here, that alone would be motivation enough to murder the poor old...
Is something wrong, ma'am? Please remain seated while court is in session.
Yeah, you can actually be thrown out for that kind of a thing, by the way. Don't do that in real life. You can literally be thrown out for that.
Terasawa-san?
Okubo-san is not a violent person.
You'd never do this.
And he hasn't even had a drink in over 6 years. Not a single drop since the incident.
My court will not stand for this commotion.
He didn't blame Waku-san at all. He knew that the outburst was just caused by his dementia. That it was all the sickness's fault. So there was no reason for him to resort to murder.
Terasawa-san, please.
Okubo-san really is an incredible, caring person.
Please leave this courtroom at once.
You're right that he may be hard to approach, but he's a kind soul, and he always keeps his promises. Okubo-san's not the only person in this courtroom who would be affected by a guilty verdict, either.
So, this is why she was killed. I think this codifies firmly in my mind. Not only is Okubo, whatever, this guy, not guilty of direct murder, but I absolutely do not think he killed his girlfriend here. Her. With 100% certainty, I could say that now.
As a matter of fact, it would break my heart. And even through it all, he wanted me to keep this a secret, not to tell anyone, not even his lawyer, that we were dating.
I mean, that's nice and dramatic and all.
Even though he knew he could have ended up in prison, making sure I was safe was the only thing in the world he cared about. That's just who he is. But when the prosecution has already decided he's a criminal, how could he possibly be given a fair trial?
Her little outburst wasn't technically admissible, but as the trial dragged on, it hung over the jury like a stone.
That right there is actually exactly why that's not allowed. Because you are supposed to only accept things that are admissed, as in that are admissible, as when you're deliberating. But that's psychologically impossible, and the court and the system actually understands that. That's why there's giant barriers of what you're supposed to be allowed and what you're supposed to disallow when it comes to, interacting. Like, you're not supposed to talk about the case. You're not supposed to look up the case. You're supposed to be in kind of a lockdown. These people aren't, someone isn't allowed to speak out of turn. There's just huge barriers. Oh, and by the way, there's usually someone, a guy in blue there to grab someone and carry them out by force if need be, if someone tries to pull what she just pulled. And don't get me wrong, that was a nice scene and all. Very moving. But I'm just pointing out why that kind of stuff isn't allowed in real life. You know what, though? I'm glad that they allowed that, because screw real life. Ugh, I say.
And in the end, Shinpei Okubo was found not guilty.
That also means they went to jury trial, by the way.
After his release, everything changed. The same girl who had so bravely proclaimed Okubo's innocence died by the man's own hand.
No. That pretty much codified it. Sorry, Zalok, I apologize. That's why she was murdered, and he didn't do it. The end. Oh, hey, meanwhile, back in the present. So we've established who these three people are. That's Minister Evilface.
Hi.
Something wrong?
No, it's nothing, Vice Minister.
But
I haven't seen you in about 3 years, Kido-san. I see you're still the director.
You look familiar, but I can't quite place the name. I seem to recall you looking sharper.
I'm a detective based in Kamurocho now. The name's Yagami.
Ah, I remember now. You're the reason Terasawa-kun's no longer with us. Remember, Shono?
Is that the 8th time it's been brought up?
Son was unstoppable. If only my testimony had been better.
9th time?
Does it matter? What brings you here anyway?
I'm investigating a murder, and I'll need your cooperation with it. Just like old times.
But you're nobody. He's a lawyer. Well, crap.
Yes, I see. Yes. Thank you. It does seem we received a phone call from this Shintani-san you speak of.
Do you know who he was calling?
Dr. Shono.
The same Shono-san you were just with?
Oh, absolutely seen.
Yes. However, it's unclear as to what the point of the call was meant to be. Shono was away from his desk at the time, you see, and Shintani-san didn't leave a message.
You have no idea what he wanted to talk about?
None. Shono says he doesn't know a Shintani-san, and sees no reason why he would be calling.
Oh, really?
Look, Shono and I co-authored the research paper on AD9. We're quite well known, as it turns out. Sometimes, complete strangers pretend to be close friends or relatives in order to contact us. Perhaps Shintani-san fell into that category.
Have you heard of the mole murders taking place in Kamurocho, Dr. Kido? 3 Yakuza, each one with their eyes gouged out. It's a grisly business. Shintani was killed in the same way.
I've seen the news.
Can you think of anything tying the ADDC to those murders?
Huh? Look, just what are you implying? Look, I believe we're done here. There's nothing I can help you with.
Please stop! You can't!
Who are you?
Detective Kuroiwa, Kamuro Police, Organized Crime.
Definitely the antagonist.
One of your guests here has information related to the case I'm currently investigating. That would be you, Yagami.
Hmm?
I'd like to speak to you as a material witness to the murder of the lawyer Masamichi Shintani.
Is that so?
Because he is seen. He is in direct opposition to the protagonists. That is the definition of the antagonist. Previously, we went to lunch.